Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my phone, she got me locked in on cup though.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the WOR versus PSGL esports event. It's the Crossplay event. It's number 3, ones each coming into tonight. Who is going to take it out on top? You'll find out in about an hour and a half's time. Fly in front of my screen. My name is James Head, as I'm going to be taking to the stream on the PSGL end. We will be joining, of course, Mr. Gareth Davies, who was live there on the WOR end very, very shortly indeed. But hope you're all doing well, and you've got the choice of 2 streams as well, so you get to see my lovely face on PSGL and Gareth's lovely face on WOR as well. But coming into tonight, it is the Crossplay event. It is Crossplay event 3, ones each, of course, coming into tonight. No Yana Watmere, no Lucas Blakely, no PC guys to tend with. It is all about the console guys and all about the defending champions as well. With PSGL winning the PSGL winning the last one over WR. WR taking the first one, of course, with Otis Lawrence at the helm. Otis Lawrence, of course, winning in Austria the last time we had an event around here as well. But we are looking like it is going to get going in terms of the lobby very soon indeed. So what we can run you through is the graphic for tonight and who is going to be racing in terms of the action here tonight. And by golly, it is a very strong lineup. PSGL on the PlayStation side have got Rodadal, OP Louis Valentin, WR Legacy Division winner in Monaco. Tom, who won, of course, in Console Tier 1 in midweek. Vola Kongan, Sam Gamer, Jerry Van Bussel, now transferring over to PC, but he's back here tonight, the PlayStation F1 champion from Season 34. Markedos, who ran him very close last season, of course, in Season 34. He is alongside him. Yaron is there, along with Mubarak, Pad Ghost, and Marlon for NLR as well. That is the PSGL lineup. WOR, dare I say it, have got the advantage, I think, coming into tonight. I am saying that on the PSGL end, but Reese Linton is in alongside Kai Pearson, 1 and 2 in the console Tier 1 Championship. Reese, of course, crowned champion on Friday. Matthew Hall not racing, unfortunately, for this first race, I believe. I'm just going to have a look to the left-hand side of me. It is Furious, I believe, that has taken his place in the Mercedes. So only 9 drivers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm missing somebody. Quantum is actually in for Mercedes. So we've got a full 10 complement for WOR. So it's Reese Linton, Kai Pearson, Matthew Hall, M Racer, of course, BRT Joe Murphy leading the championship, of course, in console Tier 2. Had a good showing in Tier 1 last week as well. Liam Bowman, the Flying Scotsman. PSR Placky due to be here. Quantum is now, of course, replacing him. Then we've got PSR Nick, YL Choco, and NRX Ogween in terms of the grid. What can you expect in terms of the action out on track? Well, in terms of Azerbaijan, 6 kilometres in length, 3.7 miles, 20 turns await now with drivers out on track. 1 down the start-finish straight towards turn number 1, 1 down and towards turn number 3 as well, where the old meets the new, where the flame towers burn here in Baku. Are we going to see PSGL come out on top, or are we going to see WOR come out on top? It remains to be seen. I'm going to be joining Mr. Gareth Hall very soon. We are just loading into the lobby right now, so I'm just preempting this a little bit, but we are going to join Gareth very, very shortly indeed. And hopefully, you guys respect us in the commentary box, you guys respect the drivers out on track, and really get behind each and every one of these to really try and produce the action and produce the goods in terms of the racing out on track. It is short qualifying, of course, for the first race. Then for the second race, it is 1-shot qualifying. So we've got a bit of a change up, 35% race distances, all to play for here tonight in WOR, in the PSGL WOR event, Crossplay Event 3. I am having a few technical difficulties trying to reach my co-comms right now. There is a notification which is not coming through on my end, but I will be joining them very, very soon. Indeed, in fact, it is actually a notification elsewhere, but we are going to get going very soon indeed. I'm going to be joining Mr. Gareth Hall very soon, and you guys can see the action out on track. You can see from my camera angle, from Gareth's camera angle, so if we miss anything, we have got you covered in terms of both of the streams out on track. But I am going to drop a message to my co-comms saying that I am ready. This was professionally thought out, but I'm going to be joining them very, very soon indeed. I'm going to come off mute in the Discord, and then we'll be all good to go. Right, let's try this, shall we?
I'm now going to just head over to the main chat here and get onto the track, and we will join James, I hope,
Hello.
for what is going to be an incredible race.
Evening, Gareth. Can you hear me?
And I suppose I probably should have let James know that I was ready to transfer over to that one. But yeah, let's see how this one pans out. Hopefully James will be able to hear me very, very shortly. Yeah, interesting lineup as we see every driver pretty much out on track and ready to get this one started. I've gone on board with our WOR side champion, and hopefully he will produce something for WOR tonight. But no matter what, I think we're going to have a great race. And hopefully there will be... James, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hopefully James will be there soon. Nonetheless, anyway, let's have a look at this one as Reese Linton comes down. And he's going as quickly as this is one of the longest parts on the track. And yeah, 78 gear changes per lap on average here at Baku. And through turn 1 we go. And unfortunately, I can't hear James, which is problematic to say. Says Reese Linton. There we go. There we go. We got. Whew. There we go. We got. We got there. Wow, not what the WR side would have wanted, and a driver that is as talented as Nick shouldn't really be losing it in the castle section like that, and that is going to put Scarpa's to him. He's going to be starting no higher at this present moment in time in 14th, but I can't see him starting any higher than 19th really, James, can you? Two Red Bull drivers in Tier 1 of WOR Crossplay this season are back at it again, and we could probably see a lot of team working happening between them, unlike we saw in the season we had. Mobarak then through the castle section, he clips the wall, but doesn't appear to be any damage to that Aston Martin, and he is... Oh, we've lost another driver. Is that into... That's
Marlon.
into turn 7.
It is gone straight on in towards turn number 7. There's an Aston Martin actually just coming through that part of the track. I think it's Marcados. Actually, no, Marcados is further on. The other Aston Martin, whoever it is on a lap at that part. Marcados, speaking of him, he's actually on a lap right now in 14th position in the Aston Martin. Jerry Van Bussel now going quickest, Jerome in second, Reese Linton in third. I said before we came live, Gareth, that I thought Reese Linton and Kai Pearson were an absolute shoe-in here. Jerry Van Bussel and Jerome, though, Dutch pair absolutely cooking currently. Reese Linton there in third, Mubarak the Padgold there going fourth. Marcados now on the run to line, looking very strong indeed, and a 40.2, slightly slower. But Jerry out on top, Jerome in second, Reese Linton in third. Very interesting start here in Baku.
Yeah, very interesting. No Xbox presence, really, it feels like. That's 3 drivers in the top 10 on the WR side of things, and that is probably not what the WR fans are going to want to be seeing. Liam Bowman, one of the quickest drivers around, as we see, on time trial, as we see NRX Ogwen then going really slowly into the castle section, so he's not having the best of lucks. But this man at the moment, Jerry Van Bussel, and he has been absolutely different class in PSGL.
He has, and obviously console T1 champion making the step into PC this season as well, so he's not actually going to be on the grid this season, but Jerry Van Bussel has done a phenomenal job, I think, in terms of his actual racing. His racecraft this season's improved. Former PSF2 champion as well, making that step up to F1. Very good showing from him so far. Jerome there in second, Reese Linton there in third. Everyone is down on their laps, apart from Joe Murphy, who's actually on an outlap, a second outlap for the Irishman, console Tier 2 champion, console Tier 2 leader, I should say, in terms of the championship coming into tonight. The BRT man there down in 15th position. What can the Ferrari man do out on track, and can he really put it up against the top guys like your Jerry Van Bussels, like your Reese Lintons?
Yeah, time will tell. We'll see in this 35% race we've got coming up to us after this short qualifying, and that 35% race indicates 18 laps. It feels kind of like a sprint race, doesn't it, of this 3.7 mile long circuit, and it's going to be an interesting one nonetheless. I mean, we guessed, I suppose, you guessed more than I did about tyre life, and for a 35% race, we're going to see a pit stop. But what these drivers decide to do is going to be a little bit unknown to us.
Yeah, I think honestly, Gareth, the drivers are going to treat this like a 25% race. It's only 10% more than an actual 25% race distance. So I think in terms of the actual strategies, we're going to see more softs, mediums, softs, I think, in terms of the two races here tonight, both in Baku and, of course, in Italy, in Monza. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how everything is going to progress, of course, out on track. Joe Murphy is just about to start up on his run in the Ferrari, on the run down in towards turn number 1. The Irish, of course, out in the Rugby World Cup. Will Joe Murphy be out or being outgunned in terms of his nearest rivals here in WOR? Let's find out in towards turn number 1.
Are we seeing something a little bit clever from him? You know, he's not really done a lap yet, and maybe he's just trying to save a little bit and maybe get into the PlayStation or the PSGL drivers' heads. We don't know, but there's an awful lot of traffic involved in front of him, and this could be problematic. Cars darting out the way to make sure they don't impede his lap time, and this could end up being a little bit less impressive than he would have hoped for, because there's another train up at the castle section right now, and he's going to catch them before he gets to the end of the lap, and that's coming into turn 7 now. Could be in trouble here.
He could be in trouble. I think he'll be fine, though. I think everyone coming down the hill will be getting out of the way coming down the hill. So Joe Murphy, 35.1 by the way in the first sector. Beautiful as he comes now through the castle section. On board with him through the right-hander, now through the left again at the top of the hill. Famously where Grosjean famously crashed in the safety car. Underneath the safety car, I think it was in 2017 around here in the Haas. As Joe Murphy now comes past the flame towers on the right-hand side, down into the left-hander turn 15. But gets in the way of the Mercedes, and that is unfortunately what we thought might happen. Joe Murphy into the back. I think it was actually even Aston Martin, if I'm not mistaken. Not going to be raging like Hamilton and Vettel in 2019, but Joe Murphy, you can tell with that weave, he's not happy.
Yeah, I don't know which of the Aston Martins it was. Was it Markadov? No, it wasn't. It was Sam Gamer, and we are being live stewarded tonight, so this is going to be an interesting one to see if anything happens. But let's go on board with the Crossplay WR champion of Reese Linton and see what he can do as he comes through for his second qualifying run.
Yeah, looking good coming out of the left-hander of turn number 2. This is, of course, a track where I famously try to go around the outside of the castle section and somebody, and then, well, I end up in the wall, and that's why I'm probably actually better off in the commentary box. Comes to the left-hander of turn number 3, and then in towards the right-hander of turn number 4. This would look like a very solid lap so far. Overcast conditions, dynamic weather, of course, here tonight.
Crossplay champion of WOR down into turn 16 where sector 3 starts, and he is up by 2/10 of his time. That will be enough to claim pole away from Jerry Van Bussel provisionally, who has been close to Jerry Van Bussel has been close to Reese Linton, but he's been more dominated by Reese Linton in qualifying when it comes to tier 1 of WOR. And down the start-finish straight goes Reese Linton. Can he do it on his second time of asking? 6 minutes left. He has done. It's a 1:39.1. That is a solid lap time, and hopefully we got James back.
Yeah, you have got me back. Apologies about that. My OBS was deciding to die on me, which means the PSGL stream decided to die on me as well. But we should be all fine. Reese Linton there out on top. Very, very good lap from him. Sam Gamer now into second. Kai Pearson there in third. All really cooking out on track. Jerry Van Bussel now on the run to the line. He's 200s down out of that middle sector. The Alfa Romeo is actually coming back in the pit lane. So Jerry Van Bussel not happy with his final couple of corners. He's back into the pits. Jerome, however, is on lap. And the McLaren is 300s up, coming out down the hill into the left-hander of turn number 15. The McLaren there looking quite good. We'll see what he can set in terms of lap time, of course. Recently moving as Liam Bowman, the Flying Scotsman of WOR, goes quickest indeed, but Yaron going quicker in the middle sector. 14.6, well up there. Could be taking provisional pole right now.
Yeah, the McLaren driver looking very, very solid as he heads through the middle of sector 3, through turns 18, 19, and through turn 20 he will come. And it's looking very, very solid for Jerome. And he's got to do something to stop Liam Bowman and Reese Linton. They've put some incredible lap times. It's only P5. It's a 1:39.3. His second sector wasn't quick enough to do anything about those guys.
Yeah, he didn't really improve in that final sector, to be honest. Of course, slipstream not actually allowed, I don't think, within the crossplay event. See, Rowan having to rely on himself, having to rely on his own pace. They're down in 5th position. A little bit disappointing from my perspective. We expect more. He's really shone in PSGL this season. So one to watch out for, certainly. Joe Murphy, by the way, is just on a 3rd run, so he's actually going for another run out on track with 4.5 minutes to go, just under Liam Bowman out on top, Reese Linton 2nd, and Sam Gateman 3rd. And Liam Bowman, by the way, the Flying Scotsman of WOR, out on top. Ryan Scotland got damaged in real life. Let's hope Liam Bowman's not the same here in Baku.
Let's hope not. And Kai Pearson in 4th place there. Look at that. Xbox have fought back a little bit, but there's only one more driver in that top 10. So it's 6 in the top 10 to PlayStation, 4 for WOR. But can Joe Murphy do anything about it as he heads through turn 7? He's not, hopefully, there's no traffic in front of him. I don't think he's going to catch one of those, that McLaren as it's coming through the final sectors. He should be clear. As long as he keeps the car pointing in the right direction, he should be able to set a lap time.
Yeah, he should be able to indeed. And he was up there, of course, in Console Tier 1 on his only appearance this season as well. Console Tier 2 has been absolutely flying throughout Winton Qatar. Joe Murphy on the run now down in towards the middle sector. 14.7 in the middle sector. He's purple on his lap, not showing purple though on my screen as Joe Murphy now comes in towards the final couple of corners through 18 and 19, then through the kink at 20 on the run toward the line. This long straight, it's going to really bring up a good DRS battle, good DRS trains in the race as well. But Joe Murphy there in 16th position. Let's see what the BRT man can do. Can he put it up there in terms of his lap? The Irishman goes 3rd, big lap time, 39.3, quicker than Sam Gamer, quicker than Kai Pearson. That is how you make a statement, my son.
It definitely is, and exactly what WR needed. But the one thing that's going against him, this track is getting to the stage of being perfect for drivers to set lap times, and that's why we have seen a flood of cars coming out on track. There is, I don't think, any time for Joe Murphy to come into the pits and swap and then get back out, but he's done a job. He's put himself up into P3 for the time being. Mobarak is out of the session. What's happened to him?
Pit lane.
Is that in the pit lane? So
yeah,
that's not too much of a problem.
Yeah, I was on board with him there. He actually ran out of fuel at the end of his run. He just backed off his lap. He hasn't got enough time to set another lap, so he's down in 8th position. The Pack Goat, as we all call him over here in PSGL, Mubarak there down in 8th position. Has recently been firing in form, though. AEC, I think he finished in 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So Mubarak has got good form coming into tonight. Shazoo Tom got good form as well. He's coming through as one of the first drivers to go on their final runs. But Liam Bowman out on top. Reese Linton 2nd. Joe Murphy there in 3rd. Jess in the PSGL chat saying it is quite overcast. It is indeed very, very overcast out on track. I thought it would be more overcast in Monza than it is actually here, as Kai Pearson gets a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking, and you know what that means.
Yay! And over to Jerry Van heads in. He's going to be the first driver to start this final set of runs. He's currently in 7th place. A lot of pressure now on him, the F7R driver. There, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to push it hard. Mobarak then no higher than 8th, but anything can still happen. And like the great Murray Walker once said, in Formula One, anything can happen, and it usually does. We will have to wait until this 1 minute 40 seconds is up, or not even that, to see who's going to claim pole here for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely so. Loving the Leicester comments, by the way, in WOR. We're up against them tomorrow night, which is going to be very interesting indeed. Hopefully some of them win 2-1. Jerry, though, in towards the left-hander. That's turn number 3. Ogween picking up another 5-second grid penalty. That means we are going to have that restart, of course. But Jerry, PSGL F1 champion, in toward the left-hander, turn number 3. In towards the right-hander of turn number 4, making sure that he can try and bring out his PS form in terms of this track and in terms of this race in good form. 900 stand though in the first sector. Maybe the track is actually evolving backwards rather than forwards early on. But looking good now as he comes in towards my infamous section out on track. Through the right-hander turn number 7. This is where I binned it into the wall famously in a league race around Tier 1 once upon a time. Joe Van Bussel through 8, 9, 10, right-hander 11, left-hander 12. Looking very, very good though. Better than what I would do through that part. Curb removed on the right-hand side, of course. Gives the car more traction on the exit. Now through the left-hander 13, through the left-hander 14, and now at the highest point of the track downhill in towards turn number 15. And Joe Van Bussel looking very, very strong. Hits the wall on the right-hand side. That's damage for him. That is lap done.
That is, well, that very well could be crucial when it comes to this. And that looks like 2 AlphaTauris with damage as well, or at least 1. That's Shazoo Tom with no front wing. It looked like he had no tyre, but that is not ideal for the AlphaTauri man. And oh, goodness me, Bolakongan as well has hit the wall on the exit, or on the entry of 17, I think. He was purple in it, and he's still going strong. So I don't know if he's still actually going to complete this lap time. was very lucky if he got away with damage there, but down the start-finish straight he goes, and he's flying himself into the pit.
Reese Linton, though, was purple in the middle sector, just following on board, 139.1. Purple in the middle sector. What can he do? The man in the Red Bull, the Console Tier 1 champion on the run to the line. Is he going to break into the 39s? Yes, he does. 38.9. Big lap time there from Reese Linton. Liam Bowman now in second, 5 tenths down. He has done. Kai Pearson now goes 17 hundredths of a second behind. In fact, it's 19 hundredths of a second behind. Chockle there on a lap as well. He's invalid. I think everyone but Ogween. Everyone's done. Everyone else is done. It's Reese Linton out on top, Kai Pearson in second, Liam Bowman in third, and it's the same old from WOR Console Tier 1 in the top 3.
Things you love to see. That is incredible lap time by Reese Linton, followed very, very closely by Kai Pearson. I say that, things you love to see. It's only if you're a WOR supporter. Apologies. I meant to be unbiased. I meant to be biased. I meant to be biased. No, unbiased with this. Sam Gamer official did throw himself above Joe Murphy there, right at the death. So, you know, definitely don't count out PlayStation here. They've still got plenty of drivers in that top 10, even in the top 11. If you are MVR Nick and some of those drivers, it will be quite annoying to see that you've had no chance to qualify.
Yeah, and to be honest, coming back to your point about PlayStation, Sam Gamer's quickest, but he's 4 tenths off, pretty much, the back of Reese Linton. Of course, illegal blocking penalty don't get taken into consideration. That is live stewarding, so I believe we are going to be getting restarted. But Reese Linton out on top from Kai Pearson in second. Same old if you're an Xbox and WOR fan. Liam Bowman there in third from Sam Gamer in fourth. Best out of everyone. Do not rule out the Canadian, though. Strong around this track. Watch out for him in the race. Joe Murphy there in fifth. The Welshman, not the Irishman, you'll be pleased to know. Mark Knowles there in sixth with Yaron in seventh. Joe Rumbles and Nathan Mubarak there in ninth. Rodadol, 10th. Vola Congan in 11th. The whole host of PlayStation guys all the way down into 11th. Chockle 12th. Tom in 13th. Furious in 14th. Then Quantum, M-Racer, Marlon, Nick and Ogween. The 19 drivers that are about to do battle here, of course, in Baku. But that's before, of course, we get an illegal blocking penalty and we get restarted.
Yeah, so we will get ourselves back underway very, very shortly, guys, for F1 2023, I guess. Oh my goodness, I've just seen
Apologies, by the way, if you can hear me on the PSGL, then I appear to be having a few issues unless Gareth has muted his mic, which I believe he might have done. Might be able to hear me in the Discord, I'm not sure. But we are, as you can tell, on track. That is wet. That is going to be the starting conditions out on track, so it is going to be very interesting indeed of how everything is going to go on out on track in terms of PSGL versus WOR, and hopefully it is going to be a very good race indeed. We are restarting. The PS guys are going to get their invites first, then I'll invite the Xbox guys in. So what we can do, though, in the meantime, is get everyone back on keel, back on sway, and you can take an intermission break while I try and fix connection with Gareth. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Cocaine in my nose.
Welcome back, everyone, to PSGL stream. I believe Gareth's internet has died, so that is brilliant. As I say, this is totally live. We are experiencing technical issues galore here tonight. It wouldn't be a PSGL or WOR stream without them. We are all human at the end of the day, but we'll be joined by Gareth very soon indeed. His stream has ended completely, which means you're stuck with me now, you lucky so-and-sos. But we are going to get going very soon indeed. We're just about to get the action out on track going once again, waiting for the lobby to be reset. You can see in terms of the grid lineup who we have got. Kai Pearson, by the way, apparently won in Azerbaijan, but we are going to get a new lobby reset. I think everyone's just going to ready up, and then we'll be underway once again in terms of the drivers out on track and in terms of the streaming as well. Hopefully on the WOR side as well. Jack Harrington saying in the chat he's just tuned in for chaos. Surely there is chaos. There is indeed a lot of chaos out on track in terms of the conditions, but we have got illegal blocking penalties. We're getting rid of them, and then we're going to be starting, of course, for the race once again, which means all of you guys who are coming over from the WR stream have to put up with me for the next few minutes or so until Gareth rejoins us back. Hopefully, though, all will go according to plan. It might be the case where we just run on one channel. It is live at the end of the day, and what can you expect? But in terms of PSGL, of course, fantastic qualifying session there. If you missed qualifying, Red Bull 1-2, Reese Linton out on top from Kai Pearson in second. Only 19 hundredths of a second separating the top two. Then Liam Bowman in third, a tenth and a half behind. Sam Gamer in fourth, 3/10 stand. And Joe Murphy, Markadors, Jerome, Jerry Van Bussel, Mubarak, and Ryderdale ran off the top 10. Bolokong and Chuckle, Tom Furious ran off the top 14, along with Quantum in 15th, Emracer, Marlon, Nick, and Ogwin. The 19 drivers doing battle, of course, here in Baku. That Discord notification, as you heard on my end, might mean that we've got a certain Console T1 commentator back.
Very, very shortly. You'll be able to hit me on the PSGL side. I am just making a quick, I don't want to say fix my side, because nothing actually went wrong, other than internet just decided to go no. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be back on WR side very, very, very shortly. So I do apologise, James.
No, it is totally fine. It is totally fine. I'm having to try and fill in the meantime. But obviously, we have got Azerbaijan coming up. We had Reese Linton and Kai Pearson out on top there in terms of qualifying. Xbox first three as well, or WOR first three as well. Sam Gamer best place out of the PlayStation guys. Really going to be fascinating out on track here tonight. Nathan Richards there saying in the chat, PC is better than everything. I doubt that. I really do doubt that, I think, from Nathan. He, of course, is going to be tuning in. He, of course, is going to be taking you through the PSGL E-Series, which is going to be kicking off on Wednesday night in terms of qualifiers. I wish I had the graphic to show you, but I simply don't have access to the E-Series graphic at all. All of the information, though, is at Premier Sim GL on Twitter, so if you want to grab everything on there, you can. E-Series, of course, coming on Wednesday night. That is the qualifiers. Likes of Team Shazoo going to be taking part. The likes of F7R, I believe, are going to be taking part. So all PC side, all Xbox, PlayStation, you name it, are going to be taking part. Really big names in terms of the teams, really big names in terms of the drivers as well. Maybe no Iona what means Lucas Blakey, but you might just see the next big thing. Of course, it's Nathan Richards and Joshua Birch taking you through the action there. And I believe it starts at 8 PM UK time, if I'm not mistaken. Jess, I'm sure, will correct me if I'm wrong on that. But hopefully the WOR end will be up very, very shortly indeed. We have got that intermission break happening right now. Everyone has just been set in terms of the grid. We'll be getting underway very soon indeed. For what promises to be, Gareth, of course, very, very interesting in terms of the conditions out on track. As he's gone.
I should have my main mic down. That would actually help you hearing me. The stream can hear me with the other mic anyway. So yeah, I was at that point when I thought you'd left me, and it was the other way round. But yeah, rain. Wow, what is this going to cause? Well, I mean, havoc surely when it comes to the race. And it's going to be absolutely entertaining no matter what happens. I didn't get a chance to see if it was going to be full wet throughout, or is it going to be intermittent? Is it, yeah, what's going to happen with that? Do we know?
It looked intermediates to me. The caption or the slight I should have really changed screens, but the slight advantage of being on the PSGL stream is that you actually got to see what the weather was like first before I did. So it was very, very good indeed. Yeah, it's gonna be I think intermediates to start off with. I'm not sure if with a 35% race it's gonna turn to dries, if it's gonna be inters fully. It's going to be very much interesting though out on track, regardless of what happens. And I have spied as well a man that I've not seen in a little while joining the lobby. Shazut Jensen has came in for PSGL. Looks like Louis Valentine might not be making it. So Jensen are in, of course, going to PC and supposedly retiring from league racing. He is now in the lobby. So Jensen is now up for PSGL.
We get to see a swan song from Jensen. Let's see if he can pull off something amazing. It would be even from an Xbox side, WR side, no matter what, it would be great to see Jensen do really well. We saw on Friday on the Crossplay WR, Tom have a really good race and do really well. It's great to see when, iconic names like that do well. It's good to see. You don't want drivers to be down in the dumps when it comes to it. So maybe Jensen can do something. One last hurrah.
Yeah, one last hurrah indeed. WR, by the way, you can now go back to the WR stream that is now live. Garrett's face is on there. Everything is going according to plan. If the internet dies, then we've got a backup as always. That is the good thing of running two streams at the same time because you can nick over to one when the other goes down. But we are going to get going very soon indeed in terms of the action out on track. Final reminder, of course, on the PSGL end, and I'm sure Gareth will put it up on his end as well, of the track map in question. 6 kilometres in, 3.7 miles, 20 turns wait now with drivers out on track. One down the start finish straight in towards turn 1. The other DRS zone, of course, being down in towards turn number 3. Where the old meets the new, where the flame towers burn here in Baku, we are going to see some really exciting action out on track, and it's just moments away.
It's moments away indeed as we'll go to the main screen, and this is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be insane. That's the best way to describe it. I will actually go back to the info screen just to show my face because I don't think we're going to go straight into it. But yeah, a little bit of light drizzle on the track. The clouds from the qualifying did mean something. Someone's definitely doing the rain dance. And how does that change the complexion of this race, James? Because were we seeing some drivers risk it for the dry setup when it could be, well, they might lose it in the race? Is track position key here?
It's a bit like Monaco, to be honest. When it rains around Monaco, you want to be in the first 2 rows, ideally, to try and win. And I think it's the same around here in Baku, especially into the castle section, where you can lose the car so easily. And there's safety car privileges around this track, probably around the 80%, I think, in terms of safety cars here tonight. But yeah, in terms of the rain, could see drivers on dry setup, could see drivers on a wet setup as well. We could see a bit of the mix. We don't know what they've gone with. Judging by how they qualified, though, it was dry conditions, so I'm assuming every single driver out there has got some form of a dry setup on.
Yeah, well, that could change now. That could change with the change. The Parc Fermé business has changed all around it, but it's not what we would have suspected. A little bit of rain here, and obviously Monza coming up around the corner. Let's have a quick chat about that while we get the drivers are getting set up. I mean, how does a driver, how would their mindset change if they do badly here into Monza, do you reckon? Because it's one event after the other.
Yeah, mentality's everything, I think, coming into tonight. Drivers have had to prepare not only for 1, but for 2. It's a bit like the esports events that they're going to be coming up against, certainly. I know Brad is certainly mentioning that last season in PSGL, but it's going to be really interesting how the drivers are prepared. Have they prepared for more for one track than the other? We are going to find out, though, now.
Yeah, we're on 4-5 red lights here in the rivalry between PSGL and WOR, and we are underway, and it looks like a pretty decent start from both the Red Bull drivers as they come down into turn 1, and the Liam Bowman's trying to have a look around the outside with Sam Gamer official having a look as well. Look in the background, you've got, well, the Aston Martins crowding the Ferrari of Joe Murphy, and it's looking very, very wet down there.
It is Mubarak nearly getting caught up in a bit of contact as well. Rotterdam filtering side by side. Look, the spray being kicked off. You can hardly see about the midpoint of the field. Jerome's going side by side with Joe Murphy. His arm on board with him. Jerry Van Bussel side by side as well with Markedos looking to the inside line. Two title rivals in PSGL, and Jerry Van Bussel's through, and he's into fifth. 3 wide almost there. In the background, coming through turn number 3, Volakongan, Tom, Quantum, all losing positions as a result. Jensen there down at the back of the field, starting right from the back as M Racer is in the wall. Coming through the right-hander there at turn number 3. I think got pinched there maybe with Marlon at Ogween, certainly. But Reese Linton leading the way. Kai Pearson in second. Liam Bowman in third. Out of the first 4 positions, nothing's really changed. But Markedos is side by side once again with Jerry Van Bussel. And please don't go side by side into the castle section.
Let's not do a James, thank you very much. Let's get through there cleanly, but
Oh my god, they
crucially,
are!
it's just... Oh, wow.
Choco and
That
Rotterdam.
is very, very, very close through all that. Markedos still leading the way from Jerry... trying to get past Jerry Van Bussel. But the PlayStation guys are fighting and allowing the Xbox drivers up at first, second and third to get away.
Yeah, definitely so. Jerry Van Bussel, that was Jerome, I think, nearly into the wall. Sorry, Rotterdam, that was. Nearly into the wall there, halfway down the field. He's got Choco right up the inside of him, in toward the left-hander of turn number 15. Tom going side by side as well with Volakongan. Everything looking good. Liam Bowman trying to get on the back of Kai Pearson. But yeah, everyone up and down the field really squirming about. I believe AlphaTauri Tom may have a little bit of damage potentially on the car. But certainly sliding his way there, coming through 18 and 19. On through the first lap though. Reese Linton leads the way. Kai Pearson in second. Liam Bowman in third. And they're side by side further down the field. Sam Gamer and Jerry Van Bussel were side by side. Rotterdam though was 3 wide with Choco and Tom. He gets now pinned out on the outside, and that's Tom and Choco's position for 10th and 11th.
Now, just to confirm, everyone, just because you win the race does not mean that you win the event for your team. It's 35 points for the first place, the 28 for second, and 25 for third. So while it's looking good at the top, some of the drivers of WOR need to start pulling their fingers out a little bit through all this. And it's crucial for the drivers like M Racers who've made that mistake early doors to actually just continue on. And there could be a safety car, there could be anything to gain some more points for your team. As it stands, Liam Bowman and Kai Pearson are maybe working together to keep away from Sam Gamer Official, because Reese Linton has just decided to check out.
Yeah, he has 2.2 seconds. In these conditions, you cannot afford console tier 1 champion to be 2.2 seconds clear. However, though, he just made a mistake at the top of the hill, and it's now 1.7 seconds. Just caught that on board on my end. Slight slide, nearly into the wall on the right side end plate. I think he got away with it, but it's a huge mistake from Reese Linton. Cost him 0.5 of a second. Liam Bowman now on the front foot. What was that you were saying about Reese?
Yeah, he's... wow. Uncharacteristic mistake from the champion of Tier 1 Crossplay at WOR, which has seen him just drop that time a little bit. Kai Pearson and Liam Bowman I don't think they're working together really, because Liam Bowman's pulling away a little bit. And we just saw on the graphic there that it's a one-stop or a no-stop strategy here on this 18-lap race. All right, is anyone going to risk that?
Potentially so, they might do. Joe Murphy's certainly not one going to risk it. He's going to go to the outside line of Jeroen towards turn 1. Jeroen's actually battling back in towards turn number 1. Can't get the job done, and the Welshman's soon. He's into 8th position. The BRT man, of course, overtaking the F7L man. They've got a good rivalry going in Legacy Division as well. Ogween and Nick side by side coming through turn 1. Nick, in fact, has gone straight on, pretty much like Verstappen and Ricardo. Not Verstappen and Ricardo. Or was it Verstappen and Ricardo? I don't know. Furious and Volakongan, Tom and Rotterdam are side by side as well. Down the straight, Rotterdam's right on the back of Choco in towards the left-hander of turn number 3. Tom's not going to risk this to the inside line. And Rotterdam's actually hanging on to the inside line here, now in towards turn number 4. The McLaren might be up the inside here. Recent sign, of course, to Outplayed Racing. They've been doing great guns in Legacy Division as well. Currently, I think it's 2nd in the championship. But Rotterdam looking to the outside line. There's a yellow flag further down the field, but that is marvellous from Rotterdam to the inside line of turn number 6. Gets the job done, but now Choco's coming back at him in towards turn 7.
What a battle between these two. Choco might very
Nick
well
out.
have got it. And there's a safety car. And I think, oh my goodness, 5-second penalty to Marilon for a severe collision with M Racer. No, not with M Racer, sorry, with NVR Nick. What has gone on there? Thankfully, we didn't see it on there, but this is time for drivers to cool their tyres down a little bit. Maybe we're going to see a no-stop strategy for a fair few of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. So intermediates I've got out as potentially wearing to around 12 or 13 laps. So they might actually go onto a fresh set of inters just to try and get that stranglehold and just to try to get to the end of the race. But it's going to be fascinating. If you see Kai Pearson, for example, there in third, back off completely and force Sam Game and Jerry Van Bussel pretty much into each other, that is the game plan for Reece Linton to pit. At the moment, they're not doing that. At the moment, I think Liam Bowman potentially is going to be the one either sticking to the Delta time or coming into the pit lane to actually go for a fresh set of inters. We will see. Reece Linton off to the right-hand side. He's not pitting in. Liam Bowman isn't. Kai Pearson isn't. Sam Gamer isn't. They're all not coming in. Actually, Mubarak is the one that I thought was going to come in the pit lane, but he's not. But we are actually seeing pit stops from Murphy and Yerone into the pits, and Yerone's actually nearly gone into the back of him into the pit lane.
Yeah, that was close. Very, very close there. Front wing change for Murphy, front wing change for Jerome as well. So they were struggling through that. That could be why Joe Murphy went so far down the grid. And the drivers at the back, I'm not surprised that they went onto fresh fresh intermediates, because it's nothing to lose for them.
Yeah, Yerone, by the way, had a front wing change, actually. Just coming on board with his pit stop there. He had a front wing change. I think Joe Murphy's had the same thing, because they've come up pretty much right behind each other once again. So Joe Murphy and Yerone may have picked up damage on lap 1. They've come in to repair their damage. They're down in 11th position. Everyone else has followed in behind. I think Volakongan has gained a position above Furious and Ogween, so that's a good gain for him, for Team Shazoo, and indeed for PSGL. But Reece Linton leading the way. Liam Bowman there in second. Kai Pearson there in third. Looking through the PSGL chat, certainly Lifeboat say not many people have boxed. Bradley, that's Bradders coming back at Frankie, and Jess Game seen Team PSGL for the win. And currently it looks all rosy for PSGL. Remember, though, there's another race and one-shot qualifying to be had.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned pre-race, it doesn't matter that you got the top 3 drivers up there. You need the other drivers to give you backup. And with Nick out of this race, that is one less drivers getting you points for WOR, and that's not ideal in this third round of PSGL versus WOR rivalry that we've got going on. Yeah, interesting. Let us know in the chats what you think, how you think it's going to happen. Give us a guess at points. Why not? Let's try that. But I tell you what, this is an interesting one. Safety car should be in at lap, I would assume, lap 5. To allow everyone to get back up together. What's your money on right now? Reece Linton win, but PSGL take the race?
I'll go even bolder and say Reece and Kai for 1, 2, and Liam Bowman for 3rd. That's how bold I'm feeling in terms of my prediction. But look out further down the field. Joe Murphy, Yerone, Choco, everyone else in that fresh set of inters are going to have upwards to around 15% fresher tyres towards the end of the race. That is going to be huge around a track like this, where tyre wear wears off at around about 6-7% a lap, especially on a set of soft compounded tyres. Obviously, it's the wets. You treat the inters more like a set of mediums or more like a set of hards in terms of their durability. I mentioned in my notes that they'll only last around 12 laps. I'm still on that. I think Reece Linton, Liam Bowman and the likes are going to have trouble from lap 12 onwards to try and get to the end. These guys are the best, and they're certainly better than me and you in the commentary box, Gareth. But Reece out on top, they've got to now be really consistent in terms of their tyre saving, in terms of their ERS saving as well. If they do that, they should get to the end. But I'm 50-50 right now.
It's going to be an interesting one. And you know what? We saw Reece Linton make that slight mistake, but that's one champion. Let's talk about the other champion from the PSGL side of things, Jerry Van Bussel. Let's see what can he do from this. He's made 3 places up. He's got past those 3, and can he do something from this position? Can he attack the WR side?
Potentially so, yeah. Sam Gamer is a man that I think has not really shone in PSGL this season. I've mentioned that in my notes for season 35, which of course starts on the PSGL then next Monday in Japan. So if you want to tune in for that, you can. 7 PM UK time, or you can watch Legacy Division tomorrow night as well. I'm both there on both days, so you can tune in for either. Sam Gamer, though, back to your question, they're in 4th position. I think he's got everything about him. He just needs to try and find the weakness out of everyone in front, out of Kai, out of Liam. If he finds that weakness, he's got Jeremy Bussell to lean on him behind PSGL F1 winner this season. Mark Goodall, who finished 4th in the championship. Mubarak, who's recently coming into form. Sam Gamer can rely on his teammates in behind. That's going to be big game for him, big game for PSGL later on in the race.
It definitely can be. Let's just quickly talk about this man. Started at the back of the grid. Shazoo Jensen, the safety car is in this lap. But he's up into 10th place right now, Shazoo Jensen. We'll see what he can do, but he's doing something that NVR Nick is not, and that is competing and possibly getting points for PSGL. Let's see how Reese Linton decides to take this one. Is he going to work together? I don't know if they're in parties or if their engineers are in cahoots with each other, but are Reese, Liam and Kai going to work together to pull away from Sam and Jerry, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. They've got to go, I think, ideally at the end of turn 20 here, and then passes DRS on, and there he goes. Reese Linton has gone, really trying to now thread the other needle in behind. Jeremy Bussell's had a strong start. Kai Pearson has had a strong start on the back of Liam Bowman. Of course, you can't overtake until the safety car line. That is barely minimal, but he is side by side in towards turn number 1 is Kai on the back of Liam. All team orders might be out of the way right now, but Liam Bowman stays second. Kai Pearson there in third, side-by-side further down the field. Joe Murphy already on those fresh compound tyres, side-by-side with Jensen for 10th and 11th. Trying to go around the outside of turn number 2. Just about hangs on in there. And the Ferrari will have the traction, will have the speed. Jensen, though, has the traction on the inside line, tries to fight, and now he's going to play the team game by letting you roam through. Smart ideas there from Jensen.
Yeah, very smart, but look at Choco. Choco's not having any of it. He's gone up the inside of Jensen. He's desperate to follow Jerome through. Is it going to happen? And I think that is well played by Jensen if he's allowing some of his PlayStation compadres to come through. It looks like it's worked for him on this occasion. Let's go back up towards the top because it looks like Jerry Van Bussel's all over the back of Sam Gamer Official as they head down into turn 7. It looks like surely they're not going to fight through this. They're side by side as they head through there. It is a bit of a slide from the Alfa Romeo, and this is costing PSGL huge.
It is, but what a move that is from Jerry Van Bussell, getting past PSGL Sam Gamer. It might not be the sort of racing that you see in a team event, but put it this way, individually, this is brilliant to watch. Jerry Van Bussell doing his into 4th, Sam Gamer there in 5th. I think you saw Joe Murphy as well on your own. They're trying to fight side by side now down the hill. Joe Murphy on the back of Rotterdam. Looking to the inside line, actually on the back of Tom even, the AlphaTauri. I am blind as well as the spray right now, but Reese Linton leading the way. Liam Bowman in 2nd, Kai Pearson there in 3rd. Everything is now going to try and spawn up once again with overtakes down the straight. Markador's looking on the back of Sam Gamer. Mubarak and Rotterdam looking on side by side. If you're a PSGL engineer right now, you'd be telling these guys to work together, not work for themselves.
It's Heart Attack City, I think, right now. Jerry Van Bussel's trying to catch up with Kai, but it's not happening. But it's getting very, very hairy in this mid-pack, or early mid-pack, I should say. Look at the background there. Is that Murphy going for a move? I think it is on Shazoo Tom. He's up the inside. He's not taking anything for granted. He's pushing it as the Ferrari driver, and that is surely past Shazoo Tom as they head into turn 2. Shazoo Tom's desperate to hold in there. It's his experience, I think, that's keeping Shazoo Tom through that, and how they haven't hit is beyond me. The spray is ridiculous, and I think Shazoo Tom has taken a little bit of a tumble there.
He has indeed. He hit the wall on the exit coming through, and speaking of coming through, there's Furious on the back of Volokongan. Furious to try and get a move done on the Shazoo man. PSGL against WOR, of course, once again here tonight, and Furious tries to look to the outside line through the outside of turn number 4. Traction zone to perfection. Brilliant move by Furious. He is not furious with that one. He's into 13.
Tell you what, Volokongan might be furious with that. He's letting him go at a place he really shouldn't. What a move from Furious, and he's through at the moment into P13. He's doing what he can to help the WR guys get some extra points through all this. Here's Markadors and his teammate, Sam Gamer Official. These two not acting like teammates. They're looking like they're battling hammer and tong in 5th and 6th respectively. I suppose maybe they're going to wait for the team orders to come towards the end of this. But it's looking very, very solid from the both of them right now. And I tell you what, you mentioned earlier that this racing, it's a team event. It's not very teamy, but as one to watch for the spectator, it's looking like an absolute cracker of a race.
Yeah, it is individually, and I tell you what as well, I think the rain is beginning to stop out on track. It's getting very lighter coming now through the final part of the lap, coming through 18 and 19. I'm on board with Markadors, and it looks pretty light compared to the start of the race. Mubarak as well and Radadal potentially fighting side by side, but Markadors on the back of Sam Gamer. Aston Martin's potential teammates, of course, in PSGL, not going to go for the move, and he's going to wait in behind on the back of the Canadian. Radadal isn't, though, on the back of Mubarak. Looks to the inside of turn number 1, doesn't get the job done. Your own to the inside line of Murphy, doesn't get the job done. And it's the same old once again, with Furious really fighting with Volakongan, and Volakongan's trying to hang on in there if he can. Furious, though, to the inside line. It's round 2 between these two, and about as many laps. Furious and Volakongan still side by side, coming out of turn number 2. On the run now, down the straight in towards turn number 3. Mubarak swapping positions with Radadal. Markador's right on the back of Sam Gamer, but Furious, I think, is through. Can't really see without the spray. On board. Oh, and there's contact ahead, and that is Tom, and that is Choco involved in the contact as well. Tom has been spun. Choco caught up in that as well. So unfortunate, they had to take the board in action. Volakongan away, skates away, scot-free.
Yeah, I think there was I think Quantum and Furious got caught in on all that as well, and Furious now down to 18.
Oh my word, Jerry Van Bussel. Sorry to cut you off, Jerry Van Bussel right on the back of Kai Pearson. Looks to the outside line at turn number 7, not going to work.
Wow, there is so much going on. The spray is causing a lot of issues. Kai Pearson, this is not the Kai Pearson we know. He's struggling at the moment. I wonder if he's got a bit of front wing damage somewhere, because at the moment he is struggling to keep Jerry Van Bussel behind him. Look how close this is getting.
Oh my God!
Through there. Jensen's retired and into the wall,
Oh.
and that is very questionable. And I think, oh my goodness me, that is not ideal at all. Safety car is definitely out. Wow, pick the bones out of that one.
I'll be honest, that is not the move a PSGL F1 champion deserves to make. That was just audacious if I've ever seen it. It was a James Head-inspired move, I've got to be honest, from Jerry Van Bussel to the inside of turn number 15. It's just reckless. Absolute recklessness there from the man in P3. He's won a PSGL F1 championship. He's an F2 champion as well in PSGL. He should know better than that. I know he's better than that, and we want to see it. I speak for everyone in both PSGL and WOR. We want to see better driving standards. Jerome, by the way, is staying out, so he's going to be the sacrificial lamb, potentially, going on that fresh compound tyre. Everyone else is back into the pit lane, however. Volakongan also continuing on. Don't think anyone else is apart from Marlon. Marlon is into a third. They are the only 3 continuing on, and they are actually the front 3 now, out on track, with Marlon trying to block Reese Linton coming out the pit lane. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting to say the least. Where is the man that got caught out massively? He was going slow. A front wing change has had to happen, but he's down to 16th place. And Kai Pearson is going to be absolutely fuming inside. Whatever setup he's got going on at home. Let's move on. Let's head on and see how this one. Obviously, a safety car's out. We're halfway through this race here. We do, just as a reminder to everyone, we've got 2 races tonight. It is one here in, if I get my words right, Baku, which is short qualifying, which we've had, a 35% race, which we're halfway through. And then after this, we've got a one-shot qualifying and 35% race around Monza, Italy. The point system is 35, 28, 25, going from obviously first place. I realised I should probably add that. So 35, 28, 25, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 20, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 into the last place. But I don't believe Jensen and Nick get points for this. So that is frustrating for those two, but it's equal size of the coin, I suppose. One PSGL, one WOR that have crashed out of this one, James.
Yeah, definitely. So that could have big consequences as well going into Monza. Obviously, with 2 drivers not potentially picking up points, not picking up some points. The last event, I believe, Marlon mentioned it a little bit earlier on to me, they only won by about 1 or 2 points, the PSGL, in the last event. So that really now, in terms of context, that really now puts the cat amongst the pigeons. Really, every single point actually does count out on track, and they need to, of course, count for those every single point. Jerome now leading Volakongan second, Marlon there in third. Currently a PSGL 1, 2, 3. Currently a PSGL lockout, to be honest, with 6th all the way to 9th, and the rest being Xbox in the top 10, both being WOR, of course, Reese Linton, Liam Bowman, and also Joe Murphy down in 10th position. So as it stands, I think PSGL maybe leading the way, I'm tempted to say, with my lack of math skills, but there's still 8 laps to go in this race. There's still one-shot qualifying and the race to go. And looking ahead as well, that one-shot qualifying, that is all individual. That is not a team game. It is all individuals on track. 1 lap, of course, around Monza. We've seen the curbs around on this game in Monza. Could catch a few out.
Yep, corner cutting is rife at Monza, and one little inch too far to the left or too far to the right can cost you dearly. And, well, we will wait and see for that one. Lap 10 of 18, we've lost 2 drivers here tonight so far. And I tell you what, it's going to be interesting. The stewards' inquiry, is going to be definitely, that stewards' room is going to be, I would love to be a fly in the wall for that one, let's just say. The rain doesn't seem like it's eased up as much as we were possibly hoping for. But these front 3 drivers, worn tyres, I mean, are they going to back Reese Linton and Liam Bowman up into the rest of the PlayStation bunch?
Oh, they have to. They have to. If they're playing a team game, they have to. Marlon there in 3rd will be that sacrificial lamb. He'll try and let Jeroen and Volokongan get away in 1st and 2nd. Reese Linton, though, I've seen him drive in the intermediate conditions before, and he is an absolute master of his craft. So he might actually outdo Marlon off this race start and then put him on the front foot for Volokongan and Jeroen a little bit further down the field. Gabor mentioned about the PS racecraft. James mentioned about the PC racecraft as well in the WOR chat, and Joe texting to himself possibly one of his memoirs, I think, that Joe is going to be releasing after his season. And of course, I believe Joe is going to be commentating once again in Season 16 for WOR, which we all love to see. But Jeroen is now going to be virtual Burmalander. Safety car's in this lap. Jeroen now virtual Burmalander. He's now virtual safety car. Do not discount him out for this race win. He is a master of his craft in the inters, prefers the wet to the dries. Let's see what he can do from the front.
Seems like a very Jensen Button-esque driver. Interchangeable look like his thing. Let's see what Jeroen can do then. And when does he start? When does he start in comparison to Reese Linton earlier on? Will he start at turn 20, or will he start before or after? It didn't seem like there was much in the way of Xbox communication before. Let's see if there's going to be PlayStation communication. They're looking very, very steady lined at the moment. We know Volokongan can't go alongside, and drivers shouldn't go alongside when they're this situation. But let's see. Let's go from Jeroen's point of view. He's going very, very slowly. There we go. He's gone now. It's finally gone. But I don't think it stopped Reese Linton's charge on the Alfa Romeo. Ooh.
And Marlon's just nearly put him in the pit wall down in towards turn number 1 as well. Not playing fair. We have to play fair in a team game, no matter what sport it is. Jerry Van Bossel and Liam Bowman are side by side as well. Liam Bowman through on Jerry Van Bossel. Reese Linton. That tactic for me for Marlon did not work. Again, he's good in the inters, but that did not work. Forcing each other into the pit wall, not for me, thanks. Jeroen there leading the way. Volokongan in 2nd. Marlon there in 3rd. Jerry Van Bossel is side by side down in towards the outside line of turn 3. Might get the switch back. He's on slightly fresher rubber compared to Liam Bowman. Now to the outside of turn number 4. Can the PSGL PSF one-man prove his worth? Liam Bowman nearly put him in the wall. Jerry Van Bossel now in towards the inside line at turn number 5. Surely going to get this one done. That is how you make a move. That is retribution for the move he made earlier. Jerry Van Bossel through and he's into pit and showing everyone what he can do.
Yeah, that's just needs it a little bit more often there, as does Jerry. But interesting. Reese Linton still has yet to pass Marilyn in P3, which has allowed Jerry Van Bossel to come straight back into it. Tom's retired, and we receive another safety car.
Another one. And yeah, we're pushing for the record, I think, in terms of safety cars and a crossplay event, I think, right now. But that is Tom in the wall. I think he might have got caught up with Kai Pearson. Kai Pearson, by the way, is down in 15th position. I'm not entirely sure what happened to him on the restart. He's down there in 15th. M-Racer 14th ahead of him. Disappointing start for Kai Pearson. Did he make contact? Did he spin? I don't know what's happened to him.
He was the collateral when Jerry Van Bossel, so he came into the pit. He was down there at the start of the safety car, unfortunately, was Kai Pearson. So he's gained 1 position, but down 13 from where he started is not what he would have wanted at all. And Liam Bowman managing to hold off Sam Gamer official in the end there. But the safety car really hasn't come out at the right time. for Sam Gamer. But I wonder if we're going to see any pit stops. Anyone try and fake people in? No one's decided to go in this time. It's interesting. I'm pretty certain that those top 3 will make it to the end easy peasy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, 14 laps that'll be on a set of inters. I think they can make it very comfortably indeed. Another 2 laps under the safety car. Furious, by the way, is former partner racing now, and he's actually came into the pit lane. So Furious there down in 17, biting the bullet, down at the back of the field. Go for broke. You may as well, in an event like this, you may as well try and push for points. He's got Ogwin, Kai Pearson, and Racer Quantum Choco ahead of him. All WOR guys. Is the need, potentially, if Crispy's obviously engineering the Xbox side here tonight, if Furious there down in 17th, if he's on the fresher rubber, do you let everyone get out the way for him to push on the back of Marcos and Joe Murphy? That'll be an interesting ploy to the end of the race, but he is too far back to make anything work.
Yeah, let's... well, we wait and see. We will wait and see how it will pan out on this one. But, I mean, it could be an absolute masterclass there from the Xbox or WR side with Furious to go in. Maybe you're right. Maybe those guys will allow him to go through, have an attack on Marcados and then into Mobarak and Ryder Dahl from the PlayStation side, I think. But it's crucial now. 3 drivers retired, 2 to the PlayStation side, 1 to the Xbox. I know points as they stand looking very heavily on PSGL, but it really does depend when how Reese Linton and Liam Bowman get through the drivers, because I will be honest, if it's looking like there's a penalty looming over Jerry Van Bussel's head.
Yeah, definitely so. And again, that audacious moving towards turn 15 just was not needed. He's there in 5th position. He's behind Reese Linton. Is that for more gain for himself? But put it this way, it's a game for the viewers, because we get to see WOR and PSGL's PSF1 and Console T1 champions going at it in 4th and 5th position, which is always a sight to see. Razor there in the chat is asking, is there a sprint or a race? I know it's a 35% race, but I know, but it's very early. Was there no quali? It was short qualifying, 18 minutes worth. Then, of course, this 18-lap race that you're seeing. Then we've got Monza. It's 1 short qualifying, same distance, 35%. That equates to 19 laps in terms of Monza. And that equates potentially to punctures as well, which I'll come on to, of course, as we get to Monza.
Yeah, we won't talk about marbles, as I know that's something that pops up quite regularly, is marbles on the track. But it depends if it's wet. If it's wet at Monza as well, we could be in for a very, very long and well, entertaining. Let's go with entertaining night. Giron leads the way here at the event of WOR versus PSGL, and he, Volokongan and Marlon have yet to pit. So, I say yet to pit, they don't have to pit because it's wet weather.
It is wet weather, yeah. It is intermediate condition tyres. It is a full wet race. I think that's why we had the custom weather on. It is a full wet race, or was due to be. However, though, I'm looking at the conditions again, just off the camera angle there, in towards turn number 5. It looks like it's physically easing off the wide shot. When you go on board with the driver, it's still the same intensity around from earlier on in the race. So I don't think we're going to see any condition changes later on in this race. Frankie, by the way, in the chat saying, I think they're trying safety car to see if it's working on the new patch. Yeah, I've been in leagues where reduced safety car is on. And put it this way, we've had 5 safety cars in the 50% race. So I think ultimately, the safety car, no matter what setting it's on, it's a little bit broke, and that is put on the blame of co-masters. Hopefully, one of them is watching, a developer or something is watching, and can take that note and then put a hot fix in, like they did today as well. But Yaron out on top, Volokongan second, Marlon there in 3rd. Reese Linton, though, getting very, very much on the back of Marlon in towards turn 14 and 15. Certainly wants to get on with things, I think, the Xbox man.
Yeah, I don't think he's in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. It looks like there's been incidents from both Alfa Romeos, and I don't think he really wants to be there. The Simpsons meme of Ralph Wiggum in the back of the school bus saying he's in danger comes to mind very, very quickly there. Anyway, let's see how Giron takes this safety car restart. Look at Jerry Van Bussel trying to get alongside the Red Bull of Reese Linton. The top 5 sees 4 PSGL and 1 WOR driver, and it doesn't get much better in the second 5. really, for WOR. Liam Bowman has a lot of work to do to try and get himself back through into something a little bit more often. But let's see it from a Volokongan point of view and see how Giron and Marlon, how they restart this race for the 4th time.
Yeah, for the 4th time, coming up to the five safety car limit, on board with Volokongan, underneath the safety car restart. When's he going to go? Yaron, a little bit of a lag there. Maybe Nick just rejoining the session there, causing a bit of interference, but Yaron still hasn't gone. Still hasn't gone. Still waiting. Still waiting. Volokongan eventually will try and go now on the back of Yaron. He's still waiting. It's like a Magello sort of style start from the Dutchman here. And now he goes. Just before the start-finish line, Rhys Linton and Marlon swapping positions. Rhys Linton now through and he's down into 5th. Jerry Van Bussel side by side, Liam Bowman side by side. That was a chaotic restart, but Liam Bowman around the outside line on sprint himself. Coming through turn number 1. Liam Bowman around the outside gets the job done. He's into 3rd. Watch out for the Flying Scotsman.
What a move from Liam Bowman. That was incredible. Everyone else was worried about Rhys Linton, but no one was worried about Liam Bowman. Rhys Linton now trying his best to keep ahead of Jerry Van Bussel as they head into turn number 4. And what was that?
That was a late move from Liam Bowman to the inside line. Gets second round the outside of Volokongan. He's in the wall. Left side end plate damage, I think, from the Flying Scotsman. Rhys Linton now trying to go side by side, right and behind as well. Has he actually got away with that scot-free? No, he hasn't. I think he's got left side end plate damage on the car. And now Rhys Linton's trying to find with Volokongan. All of this has let Yaron into 2.5 second lead, running into the castle second. Rhys Linton now in 3rd, Liam Bowman in 4th. And just to confirm, hasn't got any visible damage, but I believe there's a winglet missing on that left side end plate damage for Liam Bowman.
And that is not ideal for the Alpine driver. He's managed to let Rhys Linton through all that and keep Liam Bowman, Jerry Van Bussel behind him, which is not going to be for much longer because he is going to be struggling for pace, especially in these conditions. He's going so much further wide, up 13 and 14 compared to everyone else. Rhys Linton all over the back of Volokongan then, and look at that. Look at the gap between Giron and the rest of the field. I don't think, Marlon is right at the back of the grid and his tyres are going to be screaming, but it could very well be time for Rhys Linton to make a move and get past the AlphaTauri ahead of him. But Liam Bowman has found a little bit, maybe, of composure.
Yeah, choo-choo, here comes the Flying Scotsman on the back of Rhys Linton. Volokongan there, 2nd and 3rd. I think the Scotsman not going to try and get the move done. He's in the double toe, has to try and find something. Sam Gamer is side by side with Jerry Van Bussel in the background. Goes to the inside line of turn number 1. Volokongan goes deep in towards turn 1. Rhys Linton goes through. Through goes Rhys into 2nd. Brilliant move indeed. Liam Bowman now into 3rd. Volokongan's tyres absolutely shot. And now the Norwegian comes under pressure from the Scotsman once again. Jerry Van Bussel in the battle. Now trying to find for 4th position. Volokongan should let all of these guys through if he's got a little bit of decency. That's exactly what he's doing. Fair play to Volokongan. It's a team game at the end of the day. Yaron leads. Rhys Linton 2nd. Rhys Linton 2 seconds again on the back of Yaron. Can he do it in the next 3.5 laps as Liam Bowman goes deep again in towards turn number 4. Jerry Van Bussel solds him a new kidney as well as the move. That is him through and he's into 3rd. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, that's the moves that we want to see from Jerry Van Bussel. But I think Liam Bowman is really struggling as the Sam Gamer official goes alongside him, or tries to at least, as they head into turn 7. And this is not ideal for Liam Bowman at all. He is really struggling. It doesn't matter if there's only a tiny bit of damage when it comes to street tracks like this. They cost you all the same. And he's really fighting that car around the castle section. And, Rhys Linton is catching Giron, but I don't think Liam Bowman will be.
No, I don't think he will be. 1.5 seconds. Again, that slight bit of left side end plate damage really cost him. Volokongan again dropping down the field. Quantum going past him as well. Quantum hopefully not having physics here out on track. Nearly puts him into the wall, to be honest, there. Coming through 10-15, but Quantum is through. Guy Pearson through. Ogwing through. Volokongan's through. That is terrifying now for Giron out in front. 0.8 of a second. If it was DRS range, he'd be within it right now. Rhys on the back of Yaron, and he's going to come storming at him. Down in towards turn number 1. Has he got that straight line speed? Has Jerry Van Bussel got the straight line speed? Look at him catching the Dutchman there on the back of the Brit. Running down in towards turn 1. Rhys Linton, like a ball out of the blue, looks for the inside line in towards turn 1. Not going to risk moving towards turn 1. Yaron there leads. Rhys Linton 2nd. Jerry Van Bussel 3rd. Sam Gamer and Liam Bowman again a side by side in the background. Aston Martin and Alpine side by side in towards the left-hander of turn number 2. Is the Scotsman going to try and hang it for the switchback? No. Beautiful car position from Sam Gamer, remains 4th.
And the battle for the lead is going to be to the death. Where does Reese Linton go?
Now.
Giron is putting his car in a massively wonderful place. Side by side, a little bit of wheel banging, and that's costing them time. And I think Reese Linton's just about to hold on. But Van Bussel's coming through as well. This is going to be for the lead. Jerry Van Bussel takes it.
He does. He gets 2 for 1, like taking a candy from a baby. That was just on. You knew what was going to happen in towards turn number 4. If you've seen league racing before, you'd know they go aggressive in towards turn number 4. You'll know they go side by side. It's WOR versus PSGL. Every single point counts. Now Jerry Van Bussel's in the lead. Reese Linton in second. This is the battle I wanted to see here tonight. PSGL champion against WOR champion. This is at its finest. Let's hope it continues for 2 laps to go.
Liam Bowman is sticking to the back end of Sam Gamer as best he can. There goes Sam on Giron there on those really worn tyres. But Reese Linton not able to keep pace with Jerry Van Bussel at the moment. It's 0.6 of a second as they head on the exit of 15. Into 16 they go, into sector 3. And Reese Linton struggling for overall pace. Is this something he knew? And that's why Jerry Van Bussel is starting to push and pull away.
The side-by-side though in the background. Marquinhos, your own side-by-side. Marquinhos through and he's into 5th. He now hunts on the back of the Scotsman. Scotland against Germany. Also friendly coming up in Euro 2024. But Marquinhos on the back of Liam Bowman. Looks to the inside line. Does the German. Is the Aston Martin going to fly through? Look at your own coming. Look at Mubarak coming. It's nearly 4 wide in towards turn number 1. And look at Mubarak around the outside line. Gets all 3 of them in towards turn number 1. The Padgold is through. But he's in the wall coming through turn number 1. There's contact coming out there. That was too late on the brakes from Mubarak. That was just pure suicide from him in towards turn 1. That is him done. Jerry Van Bussel still leads. Reese Linton second. Sam Gamer in third. From what could have been 100% move from hero goes Mubarak to 0.
And Liam Bowman is being absolutely swamped by McLarens as they head to turn number 3, and into 4. He is really struggling with those tyres, and more the wing, I think. And he's got Kai Pearson behind him, though. And Jerry Van Bussel is pulling away at the lead of this on lap 17 of 18. It's not been without controversy, but as the action is still piling on strong. Jerry Van Bussel is desperate to find a way. Liam Bowman is desperate to find a way past Giron, but it's not happening. And Kai Pearson and Choco are getting hooked into this.
Oh, your own City got on the wall coming out of turn number 6. Goodness me, he has kept that somehow. That is him still in 8th position. How on earth he's recovered that out the wall, I do not know. Kai Pearson though hits the wall on the inside line there through the castle section. Puts him on the back foot. But yeah, Jerry Van Bussel has checked out. 1.3 seconds in front. Now it's just the battle for second. Now it's the battle between the Canadian of Sam Gamer and the Brit of Reese. Reese has got, you would imagine, pace advantage. He doesn't this time around. He is struggling in the wet. Sam Gamer doing a fine job there in third. Aston Martin looking on the back. Is he going to look for the move maybe in towards turn number 1? I think he's too far back there. Around the same ERS, so it is going to be pretty much now on the run. Jerome, by the way, has got damage, apparently, for making contact with Reese Linton. That's just been confirmed on the PSGL side. Reese Linton there, potentially maybe carrying a little bit of damage as well, but Jerona's dropping back. Choco now going through. Murphy going through as well. And Murphy might get both of them down in towards turn number 1. The McLaren flies to the inside line. Once again, the Ferrari will look to the outside line. Is this a move that Mubarak didn't pull off? Is this going to be pulled off by Joe Murphy? No, he gets one though, Jerome too deep, and there goes Quantum again.
This is action-packed right at the back of this field. Lap 18 of 18. Jerry Van Bussel's pulled away, but it could be. Reese Linton is carrying damage, which is why Jerry Van Bussel's pulled away a little bit. In the background here, Murphy, Quantum, and Choco all battling away, and I think Murphy's just allowed Quantum to go through, but he's on a switchback on him.
Oh, put it that way.
Teammate.
Quantum's not going to like that, is he? He's just been absolutely sold to the fish and chip shop. Joe Murphy through and he's into 9th. Quantum there in 10th. Jerome there in 11th. And you have to feel sorry for Quantum. That's Xbox on Xbox violence. WOR on WOR violence that we've just seen there. Brilliant move though by Joe Murphy through and he's into 9th. And proving why he is a contender in Tier 2 this season.
Definitely, and all of a sudden, the dynamic of all this has changed. PlayStation down the bottom, Xbox holding out the middle. But it is all resting on this man and whether he gets a penalty. Jerry Van Bussel has drove some incredible bits and some questionable bits through in this race. But at the moment, he is going to take victory as he rounds through into Sector 3 for the last time. A little bit of back-end wobbling for Jerry Van Bussel as he heads through sector 6, turn 6 to 20. It should be nice and plain sailing. He hopefully won't hit a wall between now and then, especially if you're a PSGL fan, but it's looking pretty comfortable as he heads down to the start-finish line. A 1.8-second gap to Reese Linton behind. Jerry Van Bussel takes victory here in Baku.
He does. Reese Linton second, Sam Gamer there in third. Fantastic racing throughout the field. Kai Pearson to the line, going to nick Liam Bowman for sixth. That is him through in the Red Bull. Yarona's going to nick Choco. Choco, though, back within the slipstream. Ogween as well, getting involved in that battle. Too close to call. 1100ths of a second. And that was death for Marlon and Volakongan coming across the line. Marlon flying to the left-hand side down. Volakongan not happy with that one whatsoever. Mubarak there down in 17th. We'll wait for him to come across the line. But Jerry Van Bussel wins. Reese Linton in second. To be honest, though, Gareth, Jerry Van Bussel wins, but not in the way that we imagined.
And probably not in the way he would have wanted either.
Yep.
As we wait for Barrett goes across the line, it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all, and I really am not looking forward to looking at that chat. But we've had 4 safety cars, and I hope we're going to get a points system through at some stage for us, whether it's a spreadsheet or something, so we can get a little bit of live updates and live scoring, and hopefully the stewards will give us some quick stuff as well, as Jerry Van Bussel at the moment is taking the win here for Baku. Reese Linton in second and Sam Gamer official in third, rounding out the points podium position, sorry. In fourth is Marcos Rodadal in fifth. Sixth going to Kai Pearson after his incident with said race leader. Liam Bowman in seventh, just caught off the line. Look how close that is on the timing screen there. Murphy in eighth, ninth to Quantum, 10th to Jerome. Upwin in 11th, scoring vital points for WR, I should say. Choco in 12th, 13th to Furious M Racer in 14th, 15th to Marilon, Volakogan in 16th, 17th to Mobarak, and 18th, 19th, and 20th, which are Tom, Jensen, and Nick, do not receive any points. But, wow, James, how do we describe that?
Chaotic, fun, everything you could imagine from a race, I think, in Baku, to be honest. It was absolute chaotic. I think I'm just getting everything up on my end. There you go. You can see me now on the PSGL stream as well. It's almost as if we've got a dual screen going on in terms of the cameras. But yeah, that was absolutely chaotic. That was horrible, I think, in terms of the standards. Already drivers complaining about turning the safety car off for the second race. Whether that is the case, though, remains to be seen. But what we got robbed of, I think, was a really good race. Reese towards the end, though, he had a pure straight line speed setup on. He caught 0.5 of a second down that straight. He is one to watch out for, certainly in Italy, if he does the same thing.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, Monza being the track it is, we can expect people to push that a little bit more. But we will have to wait and see. It's nice to see Otis Lawrence in the chat there, backing WOR. Hopefully that is how it's going to go. We don't know the point system. Well, we know the point system. We don't know who has taken away effectively the lead from the first side. But we have, I guess, our first bit of information for qualifying at Monza is Mobarak has a qualifying ban.
He does indeed, and that is for an incident. I can see actually what was reported. So I think Mubarak he blocked Quantum, of course, in qualifying, didn't he? So Mubarak blocked Quantum in qualifying. That is why he's got that qualifying ban. I think it's fair play. Live stewarding doing their job. It's perfect. It's like the FIA, of course, in real life. They do the live stewarding. Very, very tricky job. So fair play to every single steward that is there behind the scenes doing the work that is so duly interested. Mubarak, though, saying why? Why? And he blocked Quantum quite physically in qualifying. The proof is there. He just needs to now get on with it, I guess, and actually do what he has to do from the back of the field.
Yeah, he's. I mean, is it that much of a disadvantage at Monza for a qualifying ban, considering how, I don't want to say likely, but how possible it is to pick up one-shot qualifying, invalidation qualifying lap?
Yeah, I think Mubarak's going to be on the back foot regardless. I think his pace there in Baku in terms of qualifying not really shining through. He was good there in the race until he obviously dropped down the field. Mubarak though, has just got to take it. I think mentally, put it like a knock on the chin, basically like a punch like you get from Mike Tyson. Take it on the chin and just man up from it, and that's what I think Mubarak has got to do. Again, around the track like Monza, it's going to be so difficult because he's there in 20th. There are always going to be points of contact in motorsport. That's always going to happen. And hopefully Mubarak can see that. He can seize the opportunity, maybe seize on some safety cars and a bit of good fortune. He is a good quality driver at the end of the day, as is all of the other 19 drivers that I mentioned about. But at the end of the day, I think he just needs to man up, get on with things. It's a knock on the chin. PSGL won't be happy. Mubarak won't be happy. But he's just got to get on with it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those... definitely looking at through the inquiries chat, it's gonna be an interesting one. I think they are there's definitely, I don't want to say bad blood, there's not bad blood, but there's pride on the line for some of these guys.
There is a lot of pride. Put it this way, everyone, I have seen at least about 5 or 6 extra reports gone in, including POV shots. So it's going to be very, very interesting indeed in terms of how those steward penalties, of course, are given. Marlon was disqualified from Baku, apparently, and he has been told he needs to get it together, otherwise it's a blacklist from both PSGL and WOR. So that is huge for Marlon. Of course, a man that was well up there in terms of the championship and PSGL. That is almost a final curtain call, almost, I think, for Marlon. Being said that, it's serious. We've got to get serious. It is a team event. It's the top 2 leagues, arguably in the world, going against each other, WOR and PSGL. Everyone's got to get their act together. Everyone's got to prove to us in the comment box, you guys as viewers at home, why they are the best. And quite frankly, in Baku, they didn't do that.
No. But let's talk about some of the things that were great from that race. We did get to see some really great overtakes as well. You know, Liam Bowman had that great after the into turn 1, when everyone else was fighting Reece Linton. He just decided, you know what, I'll take all those positions, thank you very much. There was some good to come out of it.
There's some really good things to come out of it. Jeroen Bussell as well, in terms of his moves. He learnt from that mistake earlier on, really backed himself, I think, in terms of the moves out on track. That's why he took the race win. Just being informed, by the way, Sam Gamer's now got a qualifying ban for the same as Mubarak for blocking in qualifying. We caught that, I believe, on the stream. The Sam Gamer has got a qualifying ban as well, same as Mubarak, and that was impeding in qualifying. And again, they're asking for why. Surely they know why, in terms of the incident. If you've been involved in an incident, you'll know about it at the end of the day. But yeah, plenty to take forward, I think, from Baku. Obviously, in Monza, it looks like the drivers are actually getting ready right now for Monza, so we're going to go green very soon indeed. And remember, Gareth, of course, one-shot qualifying means everyone is individuals in qualifying.
Yeah, it's well, you've got to just be focused on yourself, and that is, I mean, pretty much what F1 is about anyway, isn't it? You're solely focused on yourself and then the team. But that is going to be an interesting one. James, before I ask you, I'm going to ask everyone else in the chat, both sides of PSGL and WOR, who do you think is going to claim pole at Monza? Over to you, James.
I'm again not showing WOR bias tonight, but Reece Linton for pole for me. I think Kai will be second, and do you know what? I'm going to back him. Jeroen Bussell for third.
We will wait and see how it all pans down. We'll wait for the drivers to get themselves set and ready, and we will be on way for a one-shot qualifying, I should say. But yeah, just to confirm, there has been some penalties given out tonight already. This is going to be an interesting one. Some of the drivers are not going to be happy, but like you said, some of these guys just take it on the chin and show us what you can actually do. That is what, you know, at the end of the day, what it's all about. But let's head over to the race. I say the race screen, the main stream, and see how a lap goes. And I mean, who are you going to go on board with so we can kind of sync up?
Whoever comes on board with my screen first, I guess. Hopefully it's the same as you that we get in terms of the driver. Here we go. We're going to go for one-shot qualifying, and I'm on board with NVR Nick, of all people, running down in towards the right-hander of turn number 1. I can see all ball with him, so it's good. Nick on the run down in towards turn 1. Of course, beautiful blue skies here, 220 mile an hour on the run in towards turn number 1 here at the Retafilial chicane. In towards turn 1 we go, then through the left-hander of turn number 2. Ogui Marcados Furious, the first to come out of turn 1. Reese Linton already down in 15th position, so already on the back foot as he now comes through the right-hander of Curva Grande or Curva Biasono at turn number 2. Then in toward the Della Rocha chicane at turn number 4 and 5. 26-1 in the first sector from Nick, being a little bit off put there through turns 4 and 5. Now in towards the Les Mills at turn 6 and turn 7. Very tricky on the exit of the corner. Got to try and get the car hunkered down. Looking very nice indeed from Nick. Coming down through the right-hander of turn number 7. And now on the run down towards the Curva del Serrario and towards Ascari. Molon retiring from the session along with Mbaut and Sam Gamer. They all had qualifying bans. And Nick in the middle sector, 52.3. And I tell you what, he's second position, going great guns here. Coming out to the left-hander of Ascari. On the run now down in towards Curva Alboreto, as it's now known. Or, of course, Parabolica, as it was formerly known. But NVR Nick, I was certainly thinking, why on earth we're going on board with him? He's pole position right now. Louis Valentine's up there as well, along with Tom. To the line on goal with Nick. Is Nick the Italian specialist on the run to the line with the Williams? And he goes pole with an 18.4, a tenth and a half clear of his closest rival. Brilliant lap by Nick.
What a talk about a way of shutting us down. I've got to be honest, I didn't think he would be up there at the top, but NVR Nick has shown us he still has it. What a lap time for NVR Nick. In second place is Louis Valentine from his swap over from Jensen. Tom in third. Great qualifying for him. The two Red Bulls of Reese Linton and Kai Pearson from 5th, 6th. Going to Ogwin. 7th to Choco. Bolakongan in 8th. 9th to Liam Bowman and Ryder Dahl rounding up the top 10. Then we've got M Racer, Jerry Van Bussel, Quantum, Geron, Sam Game. Oh, there's more disqualifications down there as well. We're not going to get through that list very quickly. But wow, that is crucial to see NVR Nick at the top of this leaderboard.
Is it the second coming of Nick by any chance, I think? Well, he's really peaked. Oh, and that's why. That is why, because it's, again, intermediate condition tyres out on tracks. Another wonder Nick was on pole position. He's clearly gone full dry setup. Everyone else, we saw how Reese Linton was struggling in the first sector. 15th he was coming through the first sector and through the first couple of corners. We saw how I wonder now, because they've qualified 4th and 5th of Reese and Kai, I wonder now if they've gone a bit half-half and maybe gone for a wet setup rather than a dry. Time will tell.
Well, I had to just show that it was raining. My reaction on stream, I think, says it all. 2 races in a row. We've barely had wet races in Tier 1 of WOR, and we've had another one here. We've had 2 tonight. I tell you what, it's an interesting setup that we've got going on, and it's turning out to be a rather interesting one. Let us know in both chats who you think is going to take victory here. I don't think in mine I saw the words NVR Nick to take pole for that, and I don't think it turned up in the PSGL one either, James. But yeah, that's shocked us a little bit.
It has. It's rocked us. Bell Roffix, I think, is saying that when Nick lags out, it's content certainly for League Racing Review that will come up certainly next week with Nick taking pole position in the event. But in all seriousness, back to the full conditions out on track, it's going to be really challenging once again for the drivers. They've got to have their mettle absolutely on, mentally switched on. 19 laps, remember, here in Monza, short of the 50% race distance. Here are the 5 red lights now coming on. Of course, the Williams of Nick in front, Louis Valentine alongside. All 5 red lights are on, and it's lights out and away we go. And Louis Valentine gets a very good start on the back of Nick, running in towards the first chicane at the Retafilio. But Louis Valentine looks to the outside line, trying to get Nick in towards turn 1 on the brakes. He was winner, of course, in Legacy Division in Monaco, trying to do the same here early on in Italy. Louis Valentine leads through turn number 1. Nick there in second. Reese Linton and Tom are side by side, just in the background of shot. They go 2 by 2, filter through like Noah's Ark as they go. And Nick and Louis are side by side once again through Curva Grande. Nick though leads. Louis Valentine in second. Tom there in third. Good start by all, but this is the second pinch point on the circuit. And Racer dropping down the field behind Jerry Van Bussel. Reese Linton there late on the brakes. Everyone though was clean through the chicanes.
This is crucial, and it's looking like 4 wide, a bit further on, a bit further back, I should say. They managed to get themselves all back in a straight line. That was Jerry Van Bussel and M Racer having a little bit of an attack of each other in the second curve, the Lesmo, sorry. And I think M Racer is in a little bit of trouble because he's got the 2 McLarens trying to get through. M Racer's desperate to try get back at Jerry Van Bussel as they come into Ascari, and it's side by side. This is dangerous, but somehow they've managed to make it stick. And M Racer has the position, and Ryder Dahl gets past Jerry Van Bussel.
Yeah, and looking at him behind, Mubarak involved in this, Furious involved in this, Jerry Van Bussel all the way down the field now, down 16th position. Coming out through the right-hander of Curva Alboreto, Reese Linton is side-by-side along with Kai. Reese side-by-side with the Red Bull, and now Kai is going to come at Tom in towards turn 1. Oh, the Red Bull's going to now sandwich in the back of the AlphaTaurian towards turn 1. Lap 2 out of 19. Nick leads from Louis Valentine, then nearly a second clear of Kai Pearson there now in third. Reese Linton makes contact there with the right side left. Oh, and he actually forces off the back of Tom through turn 1. That is uncanny from the man, the Console Tier 1 champion, there in 4th position. Tom falls off out on track. They're not playing fair once again. Disastrous.
It is not ideal at all from either side of the camps. And I think maybe when I said there wasn't bad blood, maybe I wasn't truthful with that, as Ogwin and Shizou Tom coming to blows there at the exit of Ferranti number 2 there. This is not ideal, as it's side by side into the first Lesmo in the background with M Racer and Giron.
Yeah, buckle up, hold on to your hats, hold on to everything that you've got a hold of right now. If you haven't got a hold of everything, get a hold of something right now, because Giron is on the back of M Racer now on the back of Tom, and it's 3 wide in towards Ascari. We cannot bear to look. Down in the inside line, and there was always going to be contact coming through there. Gravel there for Yaron. Tom off as well. Somehow they've actually got through that without nobody going in the wall, so fair play to them at least for that. Nick their leads. Louis Valentine in second. Kai Pearson in third, but once again in the midfield. It is very aggressive. It is racing. WOR and PSGL, they do not like each other, put it this way. There's cars off as well, coming now through Parabolica. Jerry Van Bussel again off. Mubarak followed through as well. Kai Pearson, though, is going for the move, I think, on Louis Valentine for second. Louis defends to the inside line on the back of Kai. Kai will hold sway, holds third. Louis Valentine holds second in turn 1.
And the Baku race winner is going backwards here. He's currently down in 17th place. He's not liking the wet weather conditions. And he's battling away with Markados for the 16th place, as Shizou Tom's just there as well. Marilon having a bit to say with Shizou Tom, but nothing doing on this occasion. It looks like he was actually going to go off the track at the exit of Curva Grande there, but into... Oh, no. Goodness me, the Ferrari of M Racer all over the place, and that has caused Tom to take evasive action, and he's had to go off the track there. This is... wow. What are we seeing tonight so far has been absolutely insane. Let's go back up to the leaders. While the action down there is great, let's give the leaders of this a little bit of a showcase. Yeah,
definitely worth showcasing more the front than the back of the field, put it that way. Quantum's on the back of Marlon in towards turn number 8 at Ascari. He's got moved on Joe Murphy, so Joe Murphy now back through down into 18th position. But everything hopefully now is going to settle down. Calm your nerves, for goodness sake. Sam Gamer and Mubarak are side by side, run up in towards Parabolica once again. But Nick leading the way. His lag currently non-existent. Leads by a second over Louis Valentine, but Legacy Division winner, of course, in Monaco. Kai Pearson there in third. Race winner, of course, I believe, was it in Japan when I covered alongside you, Gareth? Kai won and took it to Reese Linton there. I believe he did. He's there in third position. Choco there in fourth. Reese there in 5th, then Liam Bowman, Volokong and Ogween, Rodadal and Mubarak top 10, and Sam Gamer, M Racer, Jerry Van Bussel, Furious, Markados top 15, Marlon, Quantum, Joe Murphy, Tom and Yaron, all the 20 drivers filtering through. Adam Trackers, Ogween looks to the back of Volokongan through Curva Grande.
So, at the moment, it's settled down a little bit. The weather hasn't though, it's still pouring down here at Monza, and Volokongan holding off Ogween at the moment. Liam Bowman up there as well, trying to fight through. And this is a complete contrast to what it was like at Baku. Xbox or WR have decided to turn up and play.
They have, and they really mean business so far in this race. Nick there, escaping up the road almost from Louis. Louis, though, I think, is on the ERS. He's really trying and get back in that fight. Kai, though, was on the back of him. He's got to be very careful. Speaking of being very careful, they're all careful in towards Ascari. Further down the field, they're Furious, M-Racer, and Sam Gamer, who's all out of shape, though, actually. M-Racer's now, the German, going to get on the back of him. Former sitter, of course, in thingy, as Choco was gone off. Coming through Parabolica. Now, I'm not sure if that was contact or if that was a mistake. Choco was off, coming through there. What were you saying about WOR and Xbox doing a good job? They're not. It's Kai Pearson side by side with Louis Valentine in towards turn 1. Late on the brakes. Frenchman on the outside line. Brit on the outside. Turn number 2, do not get on each other like Hamilton and Verstappen, and Louis Valentine and Kai Pearson, they're still side by side. Coming out turn number 2, very much lagging juice, but Kai's got the advantage now on the inside line. Louis Valentine, no inches apart as they come now through Curva Grande, in towards the De La Roche chicane, and Kai Pearson is in front, in towards turn 4.
Kai Pearson, sorry, I was going to call him De La Roger then. Kai Pearson, desperate to get that move done. He's got it done. He's in front for the time being. And it's 2 seconds now to Nick. Nick is doing, maybe you were right in saying the second coming of NVR Nick is happened. And we've lost M-Racer. M-Racer's gone. That's not ideal. Oh, and was it Joe Murphy as well? It's both Ferraris.
Yeah, Joe Murphy, I think, got caught up in contact. Marcadors, I think, might have been involved in that as well. Certainly a bit of a knock-on contact, as I'm going to call it, throughout the field. But Nick there leading the way. Kai in second, Louis Valentine in third. Restart running wide, coming through. Ascari, Furious on the back of Sam Gamers, furiously trying to get the move done. On the back, coming through Ascari, through turn number 10. On the run up in towards turn number 11. There should be easy pickings, actually, from the former Alpano Racing man. But Kai Pearson is off, coming through Parabolica. That is huge for the championship, and that is huge as well for him as an individual. Kai Pearson off, Nick escaping up the road, 2.5 seconds. Louis Valentine in second, and that Reese Linton coming storming at him down in towards turn 1, pretty much in the pit lane limiter. Clear locks, then he spins the car. Is he going to go for the switchback? Be remarkable if he can get this back pass, but Louis Valentine holds on for second.
Wow, Reese Linton, what car control in the end. Not expected.
He's still coming
to get this. If he got, wow, what speed by Reese Linton. Is he got the move done? He's going to try it. Absolutely sensational from the Crossplay WOR champion. He saw his teammate bottle it at Curva Grande, Parabolica, sorry, but he hasn't. He nearly lost it into turn 1 there, but he managed to hold on and into second place, but it hasn't helped Xbox. Look at Liam Bowman. He's going past Louis Valentine as well. It looking very, very similar with Liam Bowman and Reese Linton starting to find their feet in this one.
Yeah, that was a mistake, actually, from Louis Valentine coming out of Lesmo 2. So, put him on the back foot. Liam Bowman through the Flying Scotsman. Joe Van Bussel as well, gaining ahead of Mubarak. That's the first 3-second penalty all night, I think, that we've seen. Mubarak, 3 seconds coming through the inside curb of Ascari. Just see, actually, coming in towards Parabolica, they must rear-lock for them to lose the car coming through there. Reese Linton in second, Liam Bowman in third. They're now going to try, as my OBS is starting to die again. Hopefully you can hear me now. Liam Bowman on the back of Reese Linton in towards the right-hander turn number 1. He's just going to hold and sit tight. On board the express train, more like the Flying Scotsman, I think, for the man in third.
Oh, goodness me. The back end of Reese Linton is so so tail happy or wiggly happy, whatever you want to call it. He's so difficult to keep his back end in shape as he comes through this, but he's got so much pace. It's the risk-reward factor for the Red Bull driver at the moment. The risk isn't as high as the reward, and he's holding out at the moment. And Kai Pearson, surprisingly, only went down to 7th place. He's done a good job to hold off, but he's got Ryder Dole for company, and he's no slouch.
Yeah, he is no slouch at all. He's there in behind in 8th position. Kai there in 7th, just ahead. Seeing a position, I think, lost there. That was Furious. Tom now getting back past. He got forced off 3 times, I think, into the gravel in his 12th position. And that comes to show how crazy this race has been and how the standards, once again, are slacking in terms of this. Has it stopped raining, by the way, out on track? I think it has. Ogween, on the back of Volakongan, coming in towards Parabolica. The rain has stopped out on track. Now, this means 2 things. 1, it's going to be more difficult to overtake. And B, track is gonna now evolve beyond the intermediate compounder tyres. It has stopped raining out on track. This track, though, with these cloud conditions, gonna be hard to dry. However, DRS has now been enabled, and Ogwin is getting full advantage of that. In towards turn number 1, on the back of Volakongan, Liam Bowman hanging on ahead of Reese Linton. All sorts of drivers into the pit lane, but Ogwin gets the job done on Volakongan. Nice move into 5th.
Part of me thinks those guys have
Too early.
They've pulled it too early. Oh, goodness me. This is going to give me heart palpitations about how this is going to go down. What a move from Ogwin, though. He's managed to get past Volakongan. Volakongan, sorry, nearly collects the back end of Ogwin. I'm trying to merge the two drivers together there. That's what pretty much the AlphaTauri driver did. Louis Valentine, though, holding on strong. Nick, 3.2 seconds. I think, pit this lap. I think he's made the right call.
Yeah, pit this lap maybe, but look, looking at the spray still being kicked up, I don't think that track is drying rather quick. So I think everyone on a set of inters, judging by Kai on the back of Quantum, it's barely crossover period. So I think risk it for another lap and see how it goes. The track is beginning to dry in towards Curva Grande, and I'd honestly risk it for another lap. If I was in these guys' shoes right now, I'd risk it. This is now B-Tech James now coming out in me and saying, oh, well, just try and go on. Everyone knows deciding not to listen to us in the commentary box. They're all into the pit lane. They feel that the tyres are now going to be crucial to the end. Kai Pearson, by the way, on the back of Quantum, has gained a second, so ignore what I've just said in the last 30 seconds.
Louis Valentine nearly collected the back end of Reese Linton. Look at that. There's trying to be an overtake by Marlon and Markados. They're both on the PlayStation side. Let's go on Kai Pearson as he rounds Parabolica here. This should be interesting. He's not lost the back end like he did earlier on. Nick is out front. I don't think that's helped him that much. I think he's lost pace out of all this, if anything. Oh, actually, no. I will be wrong. He's right up alongside Ogwin, and that's probably where he would have been.
Oh, and Vidadel makes contact with Ogwin in towards turn number 1. Goes inside of each other as well. Choco is now side by side with Rodadal coming out of the rest of the chicane. Again, still the spray being kicked up. It is still dangerous conditions out on track for these guys in a set of drives. Rodadal's not going to fight that. That's Choco through, and Rodadal's now going to hang off on the back of Ogwin. He's on that medium compounder tyre. That is not going to suit him at all well. Kai Pearson, by the way, I thought he would have got a bigger gap than what he did. He's in 6th position and has actually lost a position to Volakongan. So Volakongan is now ahead of him. Kai Pearson there in 6th, almost on the back foot. It's helped out nobody, that change up in the conditions. That has helped absolutely no one.
3-second time penalty for Sam Gamer. That's not ideal at all. Kai Pearson over the back of Volakongan trying to find a way through. And Louis Valentine has lost time to the other two drivers he was battling with. So, yeah, you're right. It's not helped anyone whatsoever. And there is a mix of medium and soft runners. Who's made the mistake?
Yeah, definitely. I think medium runners, certainly. Rodadal on the back. Track is now nearly fully dry. Reese Linton doesn't care about the fully drying track. He's 2nd. On the back of Liam Bowman. Kai Pearson now side by side with Volakongan and gaining the upper hand in towards turn number 1. So that is him through, and he's into 5th. Rodadal and Ogwin and behind. Liam Bowman coming back at Reese Linton because I believe Reese made a mistake coming out of turn number 1. And Liam back through, and he's into 2nd. Reese in 3rd. Sam Gamer, that is into the pit lane. So do not come at us in the comment section. Say, no, he's crashing the pit lane. Well, he hasn't. He's retired in the pit lane. Sam Gamer out of the race, out of frustration, I think, more than anything. I don't blame him, to be honest, but every point counts, and PSGL could be in a winning mood right now, and he might have just cost them the win.
Yeah, that is a bit disappointing from Sam Gamer. He still had pace. We saw how many safety cars came out before. He still had an opportunity, but he felt like he couldn't offer at PSGL anything other in this race. So he's retired for now, and oh goodness me,
nice.
Giron really struggling through there, and that is costing him his battle with M-Racer right now. And there's so much going up, but just ahead, let's go on board to Choco.
Yeah, Choco Rodadal side by side. Volakongan swapping positions with Kai Pearson again. That's to get DRS advantage down the straight. But look at the DRS train now forming. Look behind Volakongan. How everyone is now en masse towards the front end. Reese back through on Liam. They're just going to fight until their heart's content. Currently, WOR 1, 2, 3. Enough with Kai Pearson in 6th. Choco in 8th, Ogween in 9th. That's if they remain as they are. Choco, though, wants more. He wants the inside line of turn number 1 on the back of it. Very much lagging on. He's into the back of him. There's contact and lagging towards turn number 1. Ogween there on the back of Choco. Just about. Volokongan very slow. Looks like he might have a little bit of front wing damage, actually, Volokongan. But that was Rodadal. He lagged, had a bit of a lag spike, then got completely put off, then got into the back. He's got right side of plate damage on the car. That's not his fault, to be honest. That is just the pure cycle of the game coming in there.
Yeah, that was just viewing it from my screen, and that was interesting to say the least. I'm hoping we're going to get some sort of information from either Luke or Connor, either side, about any sort of point system that we've got going on right now. Obviously, it is 35 points for the win, 28 for the second, and 25 for the third. It'll be nice to see everything go together. But this battle here for P5, I'm guessing, yeah, Volokongan, sorry, is still keeping up with Kai, and they're 5.6 seconds behind everyone else.
Yeah, definitely. And Volokongan, obviously with whatever it appears to be, there's a lot of lag going on now, by the way, within this lobby. It's a bit like George Morgan, Jack Canan, I think we're going to get to at this point. But Volokongan on the back of Kai in towards turn number 1. Has he got enough to try and get to him? Yes, he has. Looks the outside line, in towards turn 1. Kai should just back off on this. Actually goes for the inside line, tries to repeat the favour, but that is Volokongan's move every day of the week until the Cats come home. Volokongan Thuni's into 5th.
So PSGL, if the numbers are to be believed, are leading 125 to 122. Wow, it is close.
Oh, not anymore.
All it takes is for Ryder Dahl to do that.
Yeah, and I think, was that contact with Marlon by any chance as well? Was that PSGL on PSGL contact there that we saw? Marlon's all out of shape coming through the chicane. For Rodadal, they're down in 15th position, losing positions as it stands. I think that might have been from round 1, if anything. But if that is current, Rodadal has just cost them more points than PSGL and now dropping points rather than gaining.
I think it may have moved... that's after Baku. So it really is crucial for PSGL to do something, the drivers, to do what they need to do on track and help each other and not do what they're doing. Nick, fastest man of the race again. Jerry Van Bussel did take that away from his. Louis Valentine has taken that away from him. Liam Bowman and Reese Linton swapping positions because Louis Valentine is coming back at them. But what can Kai Pearson do on Volokongan as they come down the start-finish straight? It looks like a pretty simple move for the Red Bull driver. In the background, will there be an overtake from Shazoo Tom on Jerry Van Bussel? No. Sorry, it's Choco. I got lost in all that then.
Yeah, there was a call that moved to the outside line. I thought it was Mubarak on the back of Choco that moved there. He's coming actually on the back of him in towards Curva Grande, in towards the Della Rocha chicane. And the Williams, oh my word, the lag is unbearable on board with Mubarak coming through the right-hand return number 5. Look away now if you are very sensitive with your eyes. Liam Bowman, by the way, just made a mistake out of Lesmo 1. He puts him down into 4th. That's either tactical to gain DRS, and I think that is because he's gone flying past Louis Valentine down the straight once again through, and he's into 3rd. So ignore again what I said there in the last 20 seconds, but Liam Bowman through, and he's into 3rd, and that is an age-old battle that is going to continue happening on lap 13 out of 19. Where on earth has this race gone?
This has been insane, and no safety cars yet. Why have I said that? Because that could have just cursed it all, and Nick will probably hate me for the rest of his career there. Look at how close it is in this second DRS tree. Reese Linton, the fastest man on the track. That's not surprising. But Liam, I think there's a mistake from Kai, but it's been held pretty quickly because Ogwyn hasn't done anything about it. Liam Bowman's gone behind Louis Valentine. Look at that, Kai Pearson through. Ogwyn surely through as well. They're side by side. Gonna be a little bit of touchy as they come through the first Verante there, and wow, definitely rubbing wheels.
Rubbing wheels, but I tell you what, hard and fair racing is what you need. Here comes Ogwyn on the back. That is Kai Pearson with the block on. That is perfectly poised by WOR. Crispy inspired almost. Ogwyn Thuni's into 5th and Kai Pearson halting. That was brilliant tactical play by WOR. Exactly what they need to hold the points. Exactly what they need as well to hold off the challenge of Volokongan, and especially because he's looking very quick right now. Jerry Van Bussel, he's on the back of Choco in towards Lesmo 2.
Yeah, this is very... And look at Ogwyn, actually. He's absolutely plastered it down from the second Lesmo there, just to give him enough pace to stay ahead of Kai, and that could be what he needs as he comes through Ascari now. There is a battle ahead, but this middle train right now is looking very tasty, and I'm going to stay on board with it as Liam Bowman drops away from Louis Valentine.
Yeah, but, well, Louis Valentine's actually right on the back of him and is going to go for the moving towards turn number 1. Volakongan on the back of Kai Pearson, and behind, new fastest lap there from the Frenchman. Looks the inside line, Reese Linton nearly punching him off on towards the grass there. Little bit of a move, of course, but it's all love and fair and war, and Louis Valentine's back there and he's into second. Volakongan back on board with him on the back of Kai Pearson and towards turn number 1. Not going to get the job done. Everyone just filtering through. Morlon gaining position, had a marker us further down the field as well. If you think calm before the storm, perhaps?
Definitely. The eye of the storm, whatever you want to say. There feels like there's more to be told in this tale with 5 laps remaining. Kai Pearson doing a good job of holding up Volakongan, and Ogwin has got some great pace around him, so this is going to be very, very interesting to say how it closes down. But this one's got to be the one to worry about, is Louis Valentine. He's doing a fantastic job. He only turned up for the second race here. He wasn't able to turn up for the Baku one. I think PSGL probably would have wanted him at Baku as well, because he's done a fantastic job so far.
He has, yeah, but he's inferior to Nick. Nick leading the way, 4.4 seconds, fully dry setup, I think, is the place to be on. He knew what the conditions were going to be like. He leads on toward lap number 16. Louis Valentine in second, Reese Linton in third, but here comes the WOR Console Tier 1 champion on the back of Louis Valentine. He's not going to get the job done down the straight in towards turn number 1, and perhaps as well, I hope this is a battle that we're going to see tomorrow night in Legacy Division for WOR viewers and indeed for PSGL viewers. If you do want to tune in for Legacy Division tomorrow night, it is at 7:15 PM UK time. You can tune in for me and Ross Greenhorn, who I believe is going to there, because Joseph's got some sort of match that he's going to watch. I think it's Leicester versus Sunderland, and hopefully Sunderland wins.
Oh dear, just antagonise Joseph, why don't you? Anyway, into Lesmo 1, go second, third and fourth drivers, as Reese Linton's trying to find a way past Louis Valentine. Louis Valentine's doing a good job of holding them back at the moment, but part of me thinks Reese Linton's done this on purpose to bring Liam Bowman back into the fray as they head down into Ascari, and I don't think, well, Louis Valentine's number is up, because Reese Linton, it feels like he's pushing Louis Valentine around Ascari.
Yeah, definitely so. Kai Pearson, by the way, look at the gap that he's dropped. He's dropped absolutely out of this. 7.5 seconds behind. Ogwin there now ahead of him. Volakongan ahead of him. I think his job is to be sacrificial to Ogwin and to Choco as well, to really push Volakongan and Jerry Van Bossum about as far as possible. I think we're going to see 3 wide though, in towards turn number 1. On board with Liam Bowman's view, on the back of Reese. Reese will pull to the inside line, tries to hang on in the DRS, but here comes Liam Bowman around the outside potentially, and both of them might get in towards turn number 1. There's all sorts of carnage, and that is not on. Reese Linton, I think, moving across there, had a terrible camera angle from my perspective, but Liam Bowman is through, and he's into second. Louis Valentine in third, Reese Linton there in fourth. Almost looked to me, from my camera angle on board with Liam Bowman, Reese forcing off Louis Valentine into third. And to what? Because he's just cost himself now, and potentially WOR the win.
It's a very odd one, because it looked like going into, well, at the pit exit, Reese has held the line, and Louis Valentine's tried to bash across. So I think there's afters involved in that as well, and it's not great at all, and not what you expect from either driver, really.
Definitely.
This is not on.
Yeah, not on indeed. If this is top tier league racing, then I must be absolutely blind. Choco on the back of Mubarak to the inside line in towards Ascari, gets the job done. Nice move there from the man on the mediums. We didn't mention about the mediums coming into play at this point in the race, but they are. He is through and he's into 8th. Louis Valentine there now through and he's into 2nd. And Bowman playing DRS chicken perhaps down in towards turn number 1. Volakongan is side by side again with Kai Pearson, but Nick there leading the way. 7.1 seconds. He has won. He hasn't even been mentioned in this tonight's race. He has won out on track going on to the final 2 laps of the race. Liam Bowman and Louis Valentine playing for places, it seems. Reese Linton now dropping back. His job is done. Volakongan though and Kai Pearson now going to be side by side towards turn 1 on board with Ogwin as well. to the inside through the through the Retafilio, up towards the Delaware chicane we will go. But Kai Pearson hangs on to Pip, Ogween in 6th, and again, WR, at least for 2 of their drivers, doing a good job.
Yeah, lap 18 of 19, and it's still all to play for, really. Penalties still to come. I don't think we're going to get an announcement of who's going to win immediately on stream, and it will be announced a little bit later on. We'll have to do some waffling at the end of this. One. Maybe we can get something sorted there. But Louis Valentine getting past Liam Bowman again. That's going to continue going on, I think, till the checkered flag.
Yeah, he was moving across. You said it in that point of contact a little bit before. He was moving across there again on the back of Liam Bowman. It's not on. These guys are top-tier league racers in both PSGL and WOR. You guys want to see better. We demand better in the commentary box. But Louis Valentine has to hold off Liam Bowman. I don't know how he's going to hold him off, but he's got to hold him off somehow. Liam Bowman on the run on the back, in towards turn number 1, on the back of Louis Valentine, coming at him. This is easy for Liam Bowman, pulls the inside line. Louis Valentine is going to defend thin air in towards turn 1. Liam Bowman through, and he's into 2nd. Will he remain that way, though, on board as we go through the lap? Who knows?
Reece Linton's only 1.5 seconds behind it as well. If Liam Bowman plays his cards right, he might be able to help his WR compadre into getting a little bit more out of this. There's still so much more to be done and said, and we've not, like you quite rightly mentioned, not spoken about this man. NVR Nick has been absolutely faultless. Brilliant drive from him. Let's continue watching the battle for P2 at the moment. Louis Valentine trying his best to try and find a way through. Liam Bowman now has to really push as they come down into the Ascari section. Kai Pearson picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not ideal for him. It goes along with Mo Burak's one as 7 seconds, 8 seconds between Nick and Louis Valentine. Liam Bowman has to find a way past. He's harvesting. That's not ideal for the Alpine driver as they head into Parabolica for the last time. Let's go on board with this man as he crosses the line and takes victory. What a drive from Nick. Everyone didn't think he was going to do anything about that, but he's done a fantastic job and crossing the line there as Quantum picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. James, this is not over.
Not over at all on the back. They're coming across the line to finish in 8th. Ogween Volakongan gaining ahead of Kai Pearson. Markador's gaining ahead as well. That's an Alfa Romeo Marlon. Again, frustrated by the actions out on track. I am very frustrated by the actions out on track. Put it that way. If you do not want me in rage mode, you'll end the stream now. With Joe Murphy there across the line in 15. Quantum and Maradal side by side to the line. Bit of weaving going on actually coming across the line. Fair play to them. They were only separated by 900th of a second. Same again with Yaron and with them racing at the back of the field. 18th and 19th position. But what overshadows, I think, what could have been again in Italy, it's WOR against PSGL. There's always going to be contact in motorsport, as Marcos gets driver of the day, awarded by the in-game fans. There's always going to be contact in motorsport, but when it's that aggressive and when it's that not needed, really, you've got to own up and be honest. Was that really league racing? And was that really WOR and PSGL at its finest? I don't think so.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal, is it? It's not what we know and love from tier ones on both sides of the let's say pond. It's not that at all, is it? But yeah, it's not what we know and love, let's say. But NVR Nick takes victory, and let's not, it hasn't taken any shine off him, winning 7.5 seconds in front of anyone else. He has done a fantastic job tonight. Louis Valentine and Liam Bowman provisionally 2nd, 3rd there, with Reece Linton in 4th. 5th going to Ogwyn. What a race for him as well. He's done fairly well in this second race tonight. Volakongan in 6th there. 7th to Kai Pearson. 8th to Jerry Van Bussel. 9th to Choco. 10th to Mubarak. Markadon, Shazoo Tom, Furious, Marlon, Murphy, Quantum, Ryder Dahl, M Racer and Jerome will all pick up points. The only driver that won't pick up points is Sam Gamer. My goodness. Action-packed again.
Action-packed again. And yeah, it's a tale of two halves. Like most sports these days, it's a tale of two halves. We had what I thought was a decent-ish race in Azerbaijan, given the contact, given the safety cars and everything. I thought it was reasonable. But then you come to that and you just realise, well, what on earth have we just witnessed? And again, you guys are home. I feel sorry for you guys having to tune in for this because you guys are the majority of our guys will be tuning in and have seen WOR and PSGL and have seen all of these drives at their finest. Some of these viewers tuning in might not necessarily be viewers at all. They might be first time viewers. And if they're inspired by that, God forbid, put it that way.
Yeah, not ideal at all, is it? But it's taken a shine off of some really, really good racing we've received, especially at Monza. There was so much going on that was clean and fair. But similarly to Baku, there was so much going on that wasn't, which is frustrating. So the deadline is 9:15 for the stewardships and everything tonight, James. I'll wait for Luke and see if he's got anything for us, I guess, and whether we can wrap up. Well, I say early. Whether we wrap up and the results come out later, or but as things stand, I think if my maths serve me correctly, there was quite a WR's point swing because of that. And I think it was a 17-point lead to WR, if my maths is correctly. But not ideal for PSGL if that's the case, is it, James?
No, not at all. Again, it highlights the real difference I think we've seen in Xbox and PlayStation in the past in console T1 and indeed in Legacy Division as well. The pace level of, certainly on the last game, of the Xbox guys was completely inferior to the guys on PlayStation. Again, I said this before we actually came live, and I said this is going to be the closest that we've seen from the driving centres that we saw. Probably not, but in terms of the actual racing, in terms of the moves, there were some really good moves out there. Drivers should be proud of really pulling off their moves, really showing what they can do out on track. Just saying in the PSGL side, by the way, driving standards need to improve for sure. I hope it improves before next Monday. Of course, Japan being the season opener next week in PSF1. And if you are a PSGL exclusive viewer, you will see me again back in PSF1 on Monday. You'll also see me tomorrow night on Legacy Division as well. So if you do want to tune in for that 7:15 p.m. UK time, and while we're going at it with a little bit of free promo, PSGL E-Series also on Wednesday as well at, I believe, 8 p.m. UK time. It's the qualifiers, and that is Nathan Richards, who you've seen in the chat, and Joshua Birch taking you through the action once again, reunited for Season 2. So anything Season 1, going to be very interesting indeed. And I believe there's no WR Console Tier 1 race this season because the champion has already been crowned, of course.
Yes, so Friday is it's looking like there is going to be no race this week. It would have been Silverstone. There's still a possibility on Friday for Crossplay Tier 1 to happen. It depends on the drivers. But a champion has been crowned, and that was Reese Linton, and he's done a fantastic job about it. Don't forget, there is the Season 16 stuff of WR. It's all kicking off now. Keep an eye on Discord and X, as it's now called, the artist formerly known as Twitter, is very much alive and kicking with the commentary applications being taken by them as we speak. But you know, I'm continuing to waffle as we will get reports done ASAP. So I think that means Luke wants us to just waffle a little bit longer on. And you know what? I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to have a quick look at the incident between Reese Linton and Louis Valentine. I'm not going to show it on stream because that seems a bit harsh. Yeah, he definitely goes, okay. It does feel like a very interesting one, to say the least, James. But like we mentioned, there was plenty of good racing to be said about this, and so some of those drivers should be quite proud of what they achieved tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, but beyond the negativity that I've seen, and I think we've seen in terms of the standards, there were good moments. Do not get me wrong. There were fantastic moments out on track. Fantastic racing. We saw with Liam Bowman in that race as well, going at it. Ogween, Volakongan holding up a massive old train in towards turn number one. I've just seen that instant, by the way, and it definitely looks different to what I mentioned in commentary as well. But yeah, I think in terms of the overall racing, certainly from a PS side, we demand more. Lexi Division as well coming up tomorrow. We demand more. We demand better driving, and hopefully that happens, of course, not only tomorrow night, not only on Monday, but throughout the entire game cycle as well. These guys, I'm already going to talk about challenges, and that's about 5 or 6 months away. If these guys are really serious about going forward and really progressing to their goal, they've got to act like drivers. They've got to act like they are the best, and they need to believe it because they are the best. They are really good drivers. Every single one of them that you've seen tonight are fantastic drivers in their own right, shape, or form. But with all the incidents that we've seen, it just puts a gloss, I think, over things. But hopefully, we can get back to what we should all like: the passion of motorsport, the passion of racing out on track, the passion of sim racing, and some bloody good driving at it as well.
Definitely, there's a few incident inquiries or whatever going into, so they've got a few more minutes to get this one sorted. Here, they've got four more minutes. Let's. This isn't the exact driver lineup because there were a few changes, but I'm just looking on my screen. I've just gone back to the PSGL versus WR driver lineup. A few drivers changed there, and the ones that stepped up and came in, really did a good job. Obviously, we saw Jensen come in and do a job in the first half at Baku in the race, and tried his best. Obviously, he didn't. He got caught out with a DNF, unfortunately there. But also on the WR side, we had some good. I don't want to say unknowns because that sounds harsh, but it feels like a couple of good unknowns.
It does. It does indeed. I think, of course, everything is not scripted when you come into motorsport. Nothing is scripted apart from the 2021 Drivers' Championship for Max Verstappen. But yeah, in terms of the scriptness out on track, nothing. Everything you've seen is live. It's authentic. It is just original. I think in terms of the racing, and it's original in terms of the drivers as well. We had 10 of the best on PlayStation, 10 of the best of Xbox going up against it as well, 10 of the best from PSGL, 10 of the best from WOR going up against each other. And it really proved that. For moments, I thought it was absolutely brilliant racing. Joe Van Bussel in Baku, Liam Bowman there in Italy. Really good moves happening out on track. But again, glossed over by what we've seen in terms of the standards. Really hope that I can get back to some resemblance of form. One incident, by the way, that happened in Baku. No further action between M Racer and Tom in Baku. Remember that? I think that was that incident down in towards turn number one between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. So no further action between them both. In terms of that incident, we will report any stewards' decisions that come through live and exclusive on both channels right now.
Yeah, you'll hear it here first before anyone else. Let's talk about Louis Valentine at Monza. We'll take that incident out of the way. Talk about a way of coming into a race and for 15 or so laps, really show that you're capable of being up there with the very best of both consoles.
Oh, definitely so. Yeah, Louis Valentine. Remember, he only came in for race 2 in Monza, got replaced by Jensen. I think it was meant to be F.E.O. Stefano. He was unavailable because he wasn't a driver last season. And Jensen came in and really backed him up and did a good job there. And Louis Valentine filled into that seat, did a fantastic job, won in Lexi Division by 20 seconds, remember, in 30 seconds even, in Monaco earlier on in the season in Legacy. So he is a really good driver, of course, in F1 Esports Challengers. Majority of these guys are as well. But yeah, I think Louis Valentine did a solid job, and to defend like that as well in the late stages of the race, really, really kudos to him in terms of the actual racing, in terms of the battles. Because apart from that incident with Reese Linton, he was pretty much clean throughout.
And then it just shows, you could be as solid as anyone, but one small mistake, Parabolica, Kai Pearson, it cost him some real big points tonight. Obviously, he still finished well, but it could have been much better.
Yeah, it could have been much better indeed. potentially the loads of results. I think tonight could have been a lot better. They will want everything. They'll demand everything. I think in terms of the points, every single point is up for grabs. We'll see that certainly in terms of the stewards report, in terms of the stewards reports that go in as well. It is about a minute to go until we get the stewards reports. Start to get them finalised at least. But I imagine, like the last event, we're going to be seeing everything announced on social media a little bit later on in the night because there is a lot to go through.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the case, especially that one in Baku and then that one in two. There were two major points from both races which could prove costly to either side. And we have just had, talk about on the dot. We've had a final inquiry put in. So that has made things possibly a little bit harder for the stewards. There is now no further action between Nick and Marlon for their first report, which means there's an interesting one, and no further action between Kai Pearson and Shazoo Tom.
Yeah, interesting. I believe these are coming from Baku. Luke, by the way, is typing all of these live, so I believe we're going to get another one in about a 5 or 10 seconds time, I would say. He is typing this out right now. Probably either going to say to us, you can leave the streams and leave it to us to get everything done, or it is another incident coming. And it is a 5-second penalty for NVR Nick for an incident with Marlon. Now, I need to go back and have a look at what was reported. That looked like it was in Baku, and it is indeed in Baku, that incident. So Nick gets a 5-second penalty for the incident with Marlon on the second report. The second report that was put in. So, unfortunate for Nick, as long as he doesn't get a 5-second penalty or 10-second penalty in Italy, he didn't do anything wrong. But if he doesn't get a 10-second penalty, of course, he can at least boast that he's got a race win for his name.
Yeah, it should be fine there, as we've just had the stewards closed sign in the chat there, and that's an interesting one. That was 1 minute past, but they're doing their jobs. They're probably waylaid with everything that is going on, James. It's not an easy job being a steward, is it?
No, put it this way, I'd prefer to be in the commentary box than actually being in that steward's room right now because it would absolutely drive me insane, both mentally and physically. But yeah, they've got such a hard job. I think it's I think it's the WOR side. I think it's Luke and everyone from the admin team there doing all of these incidents, trying to get them out in real time, in good time as well. And they've got to be correct with their steward reports. Every incident that you're going to see will get a little bit of backlash. We'll see the drivers maybe not agree with it, maybe not disagree with it, but at the end of the day, it's the steward's jurisdiction. It's their opinions against the drivers almost, and it's them ones who finalise everything. And I think fair play to every single steward out there that has ever done a job like this, because put it this way, it is a bloody hard job to get this out in real time.
Yeah, so I believe Connor's involved in the stewardship as well, which is going to be an interesting one. I think just out of fairness, I guess, in the interest of fairness, have two major guys from both sides doing this. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more information coming through soon. Unfortunately, we're having a couple of extra inquiries through after the deadline. This is going to add to the controversy, isn't it, James?
It's going to add to their workload, put it that way as well. Yeah, Louis Valentine's just put up a thingy. Responses to incidents are okay if they report a fresh incident. Not allowed, it seems, by the steward. So fair play, I think, to that. They want to try and cut down all the messages that have been sent in that chat as well. But Louis Valentine's just put in his point of view with that incident with Reese Linton. Now, I want to see this down in towards turn number 1 from his perspective, because this is the perspective I caught on board with. On the run towards turn number 1, defense to the inside line, Liam Bowman's coming at him. It almost looks like he moves across. Yeah, I would say he's stuck straight there, to be honest. From Louis Valentine's perspective, he's still stuck almost straight. Reese Linton's came slightly to the right. That's where the contact's been made. And unfortunately, the contact on this contact model just not needed. But Louis Valentin, in terms of that instant, not sure how the outcome is going to be, but it doesn't look right from his POV. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and well, it's the where do you blame the contact model, or do you blame the general net coding for the game? That's the question we're going to be well, we've been asking for a while. This is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we're still waiting. Thank you for those who are still waiting with us to see the results for this one. Hopefully, we'll have something very, very shortly to give you. We're still waiting for. I think that is all Baku's tickets done and dusted, isn't it? The stewardship is done for Baku. We're just waiting on the ones for Monza, and I don't think there is as many for Monza as there was Baku. Well, actually, no, the big one from Baku is still to be decided, and to be honest, that could be the one that actually decides a big swing or not. Really, James, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. So remember as well the point system 35, 28, 25, 22 and 20 for the top 5. So you think about, in the end of the day, the man who finished in second position swinging it back and loses the positions all the way down to 5th or 6th. That's about a 10-point swing. That could determine absolutely everything. You mentioned there it could be around a 17-point swing. That could be 10 of their points completely gone. So that is eradicated there. Tom's, by the way, is asking about why him and Kai is no further action. Again, this is the criticism I think that comes in from the driver's perspective. They're allowed to try and fight back. They're allowed, of course, to try and appeal incidents. But sometimes I think it just gets in the way of just let the stewards do their jobs. It's a bit like in real life. Just let the stewards do their jobs. Like Michael Massey 2021 in Abu Dhabi. Just let them do their jobs. And at the end of the racing, they went car racing. Simple as that.
Yeah, we don't need one of us to slam in our headset against the table, shouting "No, no." Anyway, yeah, we'll continue to waffle on, and I know the viewership is just tumbling right now, but yeah, we'll continue to hold for the time being, and while controversy has reigned a little bit here, we're trying to stick to the more positive things about it, aren't we, James? There was some good things there, and we've got an interesting one come in from not Japan, Monza, where there's no further action.
And it is no further, it's the big one, I think, as well. No further action between Reese Linton and OP Louis Valentin. I think exactly how I explained it from my live view there. In terms of his POV, Louis Valentin stayed absolutely gun arrow straight down and towards turn number 1. Reese Linton has came across slightly to the right. It's minimal movement to the right, but his rear wheel has locked on with the front left wheel of Louis Valentin. Therefore, the contact model has came into effect and realised, yeah, we're just going to spin you off sideways in towards turn number 1 and have done with it. And I think that's what the stewards have come to in terms of that instant. If that's not for Baku, that is definitely for Monza. And that is huge. I think no further action. And to be honest, from my reaction, certainly, fair play, because I think that is a very fair decision and takes away any controversy surrounding that incident as well. So fair play to the stewards on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm kind of agreeing with that as well. After seeing both sets of footage, I think we both saw different footages, really, didn't we? It was one looked like one thing, the other looked like another. But seeing both, it looks kind of like the net coding and the contact model.
Yeah, definitely. So, and the contact model again on this game is something that I think needs to be improved on as we go through the game cycles, of course, as Codemasters bring their potential new game engine as well, which I've heard is going to be on the F1 2024 and obviously going to be maybe on PS5 only. So that brings about the change in crossplay. Everyone will be on PS5, means I have to buy a PS5 as well because I'm still stuck on a PS4. But yeah, I think in terms of that contact model, definitely needs to be improved. I think, put it this way, and I think David Greco was in charge of the handling model and all of the contact model and everything. He left, of course, so it's going to be new entire contact model with new people as well. There's another incident though just came in while we're waffling on. 5 second penalty to Choco for the incident with Rotterdam. Now, again, I believe this was, if I am not mistaken, in Italy. This is something that I think I caught as well on stream. So I'm just going to view this right now from Rotterdam's perspective. You'll hear my live reaction on the stream right now. And yeah, it's Rotterdam having that slight bit of lag in towards turn number 1 and causing that incident in the end. But it looks like the drivers have given it to Choco, 5 second penalty for incident with Rotterdam, even though I thought there was no contact. The points are getting done now. We're going to have an update for you in a couple of minutes. 10 second penalty as well to Jerry Van Bussel for the incident with Kai Pearson. Now that is a big one.
That's a big one, and that's Baku as well. So that is the last Baku. That's it all done and dusted. Points are being done.
Ooh.
A little prediction, James, from you. Let's see.
I think WOR have done this. But it's only going to be about 5 or 6 points, I think. Jerry Van Bussel, 10 second penalty. I need to go back on the from earlier on in the stream and see what the results were in Baku. Joe, by the way, is asking me for score prediction for tomorrow night as well, which I've just noticed. I think 2-1 Sunderland. I think Leicester are going to be absolutely washed with whatever Maresca football is or anything. You're about to see Mowbray football in terms of tomorrow night Sunderland against Leicester. But looking at the results, I'm just trying to rewind this back again. The provisional results. Jerry Van Bussel, that 10-second time penalty puts him all the way down in 7th position. That is a big swing.
Yeah, that is not ideal. You know what? I'm thinking maybe a little bit outside the box, but maybe 250 points overall for WOR in comparison to PSGL. I don't know how many points that would leave PSGL. I'm just saying WOR around the 250 mark. Let's see if that is going to be the case. But interesting one. These extra points are going to be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely so. Your own, by the way, has just been instructed as well that the report was done. He's just put in a bit of incident footage from his own mistake in terms of Reece Linton and Liam Bowman in terms of their incidents. That might get looked into. That might not get looked into. We'll have a look in terms of that one. Jeff Van Bussel has just sent a POV in as well. I don't know what this is of. Oh, this is a switchback coming out of turn number 4, which got big applause from me, certainly in the commentary. And yeah, Jerry Van Bussel outselling Liam Bowman, outselling the Flying Scotsman. Flying Scotsman got hit. And in the end, Jerry Van Bussel through and he's into third. And possibly one of the best moves I think we saw all night. But we are going to have points in about 2 or 3 minutes' time.
Yep, not long to wait now, guys. And that is an incredible move. And it just shows that Jerry Van Bussel can do it. And that's the thing. You know, we saw one end of the scale and then the other. I mean, in the same race. It's incredible. And yeah, I think you're right. I think that possibly could be one of the best moves we saw tonight. But the other one that sticks out in my mind is Liam Bowman. When everyone else just decided to fight Reece Linton, and he decided, you know what, I'm just going for it.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to be on, I think, in terms of you've got to be on your A game. Every single race you go into, mentally, physically, you've got to be right. You've got to be 100% and giving it. And Liam Bowman did exactly that. He's not called the Flying Scotsman for anything, certainly for my end, anyways. He's not called the Flying Scotsman for anything. He got that job done. It was a really great move, I think, from his perspective. And in the end, I think he drove very, very well, especially there in Monza, especially once again in Baku. Certainly, I think, and I'm going to put it completely to him now, I think he's going to be one to watch for Season 16 of WOR Console Tier 1. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it would be difficult to disagree with you, is the best way to describe that. Um, Again, guys, thank you so much for holding out, watching. I know we've had a little bit of tech issues at the beginning, and now we're waiting for the live and everything to go through. Points points are being added as we speak. That's the words I was trying to get out of my mouth then. So hopefully, a minute to go, maybe two, until the points are given to us. Any indication on what you reckon points would points wise are, James?
I don't know anymore. With that 10-second penalty for Jerry Van Bussen, I think it's thrown everything completely wide open. It gains PSGL more than WOR, and that's in a literal sense because every PSGL driver jumps up a position. There was only 3, I think, for WOR that jump up a position, but PSGL had more points and they had more drivers in front of the WOR drivers, so that gains them extra points in terms of that race. Certainly in Baku and Italy, of course, we saw racing there. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think, honestly, it's going to come down to less than 10 points between both leagues. And no matter what your opinion is of how this race has gone or how these races have gone, just put it this way, everyone has got a learning mission now. They've got to learn ahead of their respective seasons for WOR PSGL. I want to see more, certainly going into Monday night and certainly tomorrow night in Legacy Division. And I hope we can expect the same as well for next season in WOR Console Tier 1. As my OBS is designed to die. Brilliant.
Oh, typical when you need it the most. Hopefully Luke is going to be giving us the scores very shortly. The controversy's not stopped. I say controversy. The incident. Wow, the back chatting has not stopped. I guess in the chats, and it's something that's going to continue happening for a while yet. And it kind of what makes these events that little bit spicier as well, because people will remember this and they'll hopefully use it to keep pushing and get better and make good overtakes and make sure that their platform, whether it be PSGL or WOR, performs the best.
No, definitely. So I think that they've all got to be on absolute metal now in terms of their overall racing, in terms of their overall driving. Again, it's a learning mission for everyone. Learning mission not only for us, not only for you guys at home, but learning mission more importantly for the drivers. They have got to deliver their best no matter what league they're in, no matter what they have in terms of this. Again, apparently 2 mins in terms of we're waiting on Connor. Apparently, okay, so we're waiting on Connor for the points. And as soon as that is done, I'm sure it's getting done in graphical form, and that'll be, I'm sure, given to you, Gareth, and to me. And we are waiting on him, the big man himself, Big C, to deliver the points. It's a bit like Eurovision and the Dues Point go to.
I feel like we need the final Europe final countdown going, a drum roll, and I'm trying to think what else we can use to get these guys just that little bit quicker. Come on, Connor, get it sorted, my friend. Yeah, it's so tough. I wouldn't want to be in these guys' shoes after having to do all the stewards' inquiries and everything. It's been a difficult night for them. Obviously, having to fight fires everywhere. We've got it easy, haven't we?
Well, we've got it very easy. We can just waffle on and keep 22 viewers on the WOR stream, including me, and only 11 of you on the PSGL stream going and possibly going from absolute being insane right now because we're just waiting on the points as much as you are. And it's taken its time. Put it that way, it's taken its time. It is getting, I'm sure, graphically done. So it is very posh for us to show on the stream and for you guys at home to look on social media as well. But regardless, I think, of what the outcome is, we should just be proud, I think, of every single driver's performance. Yes, the driving standards were not great, and it takes the gloss off things, but these guys are professionals at the end of the day. They will learn, they will grow. We expect more. We want them to deliver more. I feel sorry for you guys at home, but hopefully we will get that result coming through very soon indeed. I'm on tender because I want to literally come through the screen and just rattle somebody's cage and just say, get on with it, for goodness sake, we waited us too long.
In the WR chat, they're asking for some karaoke, and you know what? No. So the 2 minutes is up, so we're obviously still waiting for Connor, and this is oh man, like you on tender hooks, desperate to find out what the results are for this one. Jack's doing an R, but if he'd heard my voice singing, if you ever heard a cat being strangled, that's pretty much what my singing is like.
Are you saying for some standoff, to be honest? But well, we could reclaim maybe what me and Evan did in the infamous episode 1 of PSGL podcast and do rock paper scissors while we're waiting.
We could. I'm not sure how that would work, considering we're not on the same. I don't know. There's got to be. We could do. I'm not sure. How would it work?
I don't have a clue. Somebody come up with some rule book, with a rule book for rock paper scissors, and we'll do it right now. Unless the points come through.
Yeah. We could go more severe, but I'm not going to go down that route to get. Yeah, let's not go there. Hopefully we're going to get it very, very shortly. Rock paper scissors, but you make up anything you want. We could do what is it? Rock paper scissors Spock? Is that the How I Met You? Not How I Met Your Mother. Big Bang Theory version. I mean, we could start looking at some of the incidents ourselves on here, but
Man, I'll tell you what we can do though, while we're waiting, is do a little bit of maybe self-promotion of WOR and PSGL content that is to come, because I have got the PSGL calendar actually ready. I've also got the WOR calendar ready, but I'm very much surprised that I do not want to show a WOR graphic on a PSGL stream. And yeah, I mean technically it'd be fine, but yeah, in terms of PSGL, what you've got to look forward to for the coming rounds, of course, Japan being next week. That is going to be round 1 of the season. Qatar round 2, and then Hungary round 3. Just to get your opinion actually on that, Gareth. Japan race 1 for the PSGL guys. Gonna be interesting, I think. It is the day before Halloween, on my girlfriend's birthday as well, why don't you know? But Japan round 1 of the championship. Gonna be interesting for the PSGL guys, certainly.
Definitely, Japan. I mean, we had that WR race quite late on in the season of season 15 Tier 1. It was an interesting one, some interesting battles. Obviously, some of the PSGL guys were there, so they've got that little bit of extra knowledge maybe to some of the drivers that haven't done that recently, and it's a nice way to start the season. It's more of an ending season track for me, but if I can't have it at the end, I'd have it at the start. But yeah, we'll times. I don't know where I was going with that last bit, but yeah, it's a good race to start with.
Yeah, definitely. So Japan, certainly, I think it was Kian that one, if I'm not mistaken. Kian Goidendup, of course, he's going to be on the PC side going forward. He took the race when, of course, Max finishing in P3 that day as well. But looking through the rest of the calendar, while we've got a little bit of a break time, we've got no race in between the 13th and the 27th. 20th, of course, being the break week. 27th being Las Vegas, then Austria, Monza, and Singapore. Singapore before the winter off-season. And then we've got Spain, Miami, Britain, and Bahrain to come up for the rest of the season as well. Myself and Jess Ball are going to be taking to the action, of course, for PSGL, PSF1. The stream is already live. Don't go and tune in for it now because you're going to be a week too early if you do. But in terms of in terms of the WOR calendar, of course, I'm not going to show it on my end, but I'm certainly going to get up on my end. Bahrain round 1, and Gareth, it's going to be very interesting for Bahrain round 1 as well as PCT 1 as well.
Yeah, so I've gone to the PC Tier 1 side. I should really probably promote the console side because that's what we are. But Bahrain, one of those tracks that is a very, very solid track to get plenty of action. And then moving to Britain, Monaco. Monaco on on a calendar is something that I haven't seen in a long, long time in WOR. So it's going to be interesting there. Las Vegas and Texas, Singapore, plenty of street tracks to get your teeth into this season or season 16 of WOR. Mexico there, Portugal, Belgium, Austria, and ending the season on China. That's going to be very interesting. And what's your takes on China being in there, James? Considering it doesn't look like we'll be seeing it on a real F1 track for much longer.
Yeah, I think China, in terms of sim racing, I have had really good commentaries around that track. China was one of my favourites, I think, on the game. I think it doesn't get some of the hate, honestly, that the drivers give it. I think China's a brilliant track. Promotes a lot of overtaking, promotes a lot of racing, promotes safety cars, VSCs, bits of contact, everything that you would expect from a traditional league race around there. And as well as a little bit of a PSGL facts, of course, we had a wet race there in season 31, I think it was. Jensen take the win, Volakongan there in season 33 it was even. Volakongan take the win, Jensen second. No stop strategies are even possible around that track as well. But we have got a graphic going on Twitter, still robbing us.
Oh my goodness. It's not on Twitter yet. That's the or X, the what is it? The oh goodness me. The artist formerly known as Twitter. There's got to be something. It's got to be up there soon. Come on. Is it going to be on WR or PSGL first? There's too many questions to ask. But while we ask for that and try and get some information, I tell you what will be nice is to talk about Nick's race, because you know what? We barely spoke about him in the race. He has asked about, or it has been asked in the chat. It was a very, very solid, wonderful, just drive.
It was, yeah. Nick absolutely deserved the race win. I think, quite frankly, he absolutely took it to everyone in that race. Went for the fully dry setup, a thing that I said at the start of the race might not be the case with the intermediate conditions. Then the conditions changed and he was absolutely flying. 3.1 seconds out of the pit stop, 7.5 seconds clear at the end. Really, really strong showing from Nick. And if he can do that week in, week out, his inconsistency, put that to one side. Nick's a very solid driver at the end of the day. And he is one of the drivers, again, to take forward into console Tier 1 next season, if he is doing that, of course. And if he is, full credit, because he's got form now, both into Legacy Division, both into console Tier 1 next season. He's got that form carrying forward, and he'll be buoyed by that. It will really inspire him to drive better, to really produce the goods, and hopefully to afford a better internet as well.
Fingers crossed. It's definitely a driver that, you know, someone that could match Otis Lawrence and really give Otis Lawrence a chance or a fight. He's one of those drivers. So to see him not have the luck or not have the internet at some parts is quite surprising. But really, he should be battling week in, week out.
Yeah, should be definitely battling week in, week out. I'm constantly refreshing the WOR Twitter, by the way, to see if a graphic does appear and if a new tweet does appear. And if it does, you'll be the first one to know about the points. Nothing as of yet on the PSGL Twitter as well. So again, we just have to try and waffle on and find a bit of time, maybe do that game of rock, paper, scissors very soon indeed as well. But yeah, I think in terms of Nick's performance, certainly going to be bored by that confidence, certainly going to be bored by his performance. Definitely one to consider going forward. However, hang on, we have got... Oh, wow. We have got a graphic with the points, and it's not on the same wavelength that I thought it would be. Do you want me to announce it?
I tell you what, go for it, because I've just seen it and I was wrong as well.
Well, miles off. I thought like it was about 5 or 6 points. It's more like 50 to 60 points in terms of the overall standings. It is WOR who is top of the tree here tonight with 280 points to their name. I am just going to get that showing up on your screen very, very shortly indeed. If I can find the tweet, I will do that in a second. But WR take the win on 280 points, 222, all the twos for PSGL, and in the end, Xbox triumphing over PlayStation. Was it in any doubt, given how recent Kai performed?
Kai's been absolutely brilliant, and I've just stretched that. That looked horrendous, but yeah, I mean with Kai, you always knew what we. Well, sorry, with Kai and Rieslings, that you always knew it was going to be. It was all about what PSGL could bring to the table, and it looked early on that they were able to, but just a few things let them down.
Yeah, a few things. I think it was a bit inconsistency at the end of the day. They, of course, 1 and 2 in the championship. Thought they were going to be doing a fantastic job, of course, in terms of the racing out on track. And overall, disappointing showing from them. Not disappointing at all from a WOR perspective. They take the bragging right. It's 2-1 now for them. As I am having issues. If you can hear that, by the way, on my end, it's just trying to get the graphic, but I now can't, and it's now froze. So give me a second, please.
It's all good. I mean, from our side, WR, I was just doing a fist bump kind. I mean, you know what? That's 2 commentaries I've done over WR, and both times they've taken away victory. So I'm I'm pretty happy with that, and we didn't even need our knight in shining armor, Otis Lawrence, to help us through. It's been an incredible night. Taken its time, has it not, James? But it's definitely worked in the end, and a great race.
Yeah, it definitely has worked out. And congratulations, of course, to WOR for taking the race win. I can now progress that finally. We got there in the end. It did download. My Microsoft Edge has now just completely crashed. But there is the graphic. There is the proof. 280 points for WOR. 222 for PSGL in the and WOR now 2-1 in the series. Is there going to be more? Potentially another one around the corner on the back of the new year? Have to tune in, wait, find out, look at the social medias and everything. But an absolute honour to do this for the first time. Hopefully, going to be back for the next one, and if it does, it's going to be even closer than what we've seen out on track tonight.
I definitely agree with you on that one, and you know what? Thank you very much for sitting in along with me on the comments, James. I know I jested about how easy we had it. It did get a bit hairy at times, but well, you did a fantastic job of making sure I didn't blow my top, because there was some. Yeah, well, anyway, but yeah, what a way, really, to end the WR season as well, season 15, and bring open season 16. A fantastic event that these 2 companies put on these 2 sites, and it's worked absolute wonders. But you know what, James, I'll let you close out both of the streams.
Yeah, fantastic stuff out on track. Of course, more to come as we go forward as well. Legacy Division, of course, tomorrow night on WOR if you want to tune in for that. 7:15 p.m. UK time. You do not want to miss it after tonight's controversy. Then PSGL series on Wednesday as well, 7 p.m. UK time with Nathan Richards and Joshua Birch. Then we're back as well. We're not back on Friday for WR Console T1. We're back on PSGL on Monday for PSGL PSF 1. No defending champion Jerry Van Bussel, who will take the crown on Monday, who will take the first win in Japan on Monday. Find out with myself and Jess Sport at 8 p.m. UK time on Monday evening. And then we do all rings and roundabouts again with Legacy Division again on Tuesday.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for everyone that's watched, and we hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for sticking with us. But for now, goodbye.
nothing on cup though. Cocaine in my